I'm with you. A moment left in time. Why should I stop? Even though I was left out, it's gonna circle back around. Acting out, and I ain't never gonna ever be a poster boy. There's been a lot of empty promises and paranoid. If I don't meet you, status let go. Can't manufacture my soul. I'll never be a poster boy, poster boy, You won't find me on the light. You won't see my name. Cause I'm living no regret. Clouds of sound raining down on me. You don't like what I do, and I don't like what you do. Try to convince me to it. Pull the brakes, pull the brakes. Why should I stop? Even though I was left out, it's gonna circle back around. Acting out, and I ain't never gonna ever be a poster boy. There's been a lot of empty promises and paranoid. If I don't meet you, status let go. Can't manufacture my soul. even look me in the eyes and conversate. You hesitate. You know it ain't even worth denying. No debate. Please, can we start from scratch and try? Clean slate, won't you agree? There's no rewriting story. Pour out our destiny. We need to feel electricity. Trust me, I don't wanna take the high road, honestly. You brought me low, holding all the grudges in my hands and set them free. 'Cause all they do is bring me low. I've been looking for a new perspective, honestly. I'm letting go. Took a while, but I learned a lesson, set me free. Please, can we start from scratch and try? Clean slate, won't you agree? There's no rewriting story. Pour out our destiny. We need to feel electricity. Clean slate, won't you agree? There's no rewriting story. Pour out our destiny. We need to feel.
Jao, thank you for the follow. Thank you, thank ya. Might as well put myself here. Hello. Thank you for the follow. And yeah, Rolf, it's a pretty well-made game. Like, it's all voice acted too, the letter, which is kind of surprising considering it was like an indie mobile game. And it's overall pretty well done. Like, the one gripe I have about it is that, yeah, it's $20. That's why I'm like, I already paid for it once. I don't know about paying for it a second time. Maybe if someone buys it for me at some point, but I don't know about myself buying a game that I've already played through. Because I still own it. It's just I own it on my phone rather than on PC, which is like bleh. Also, I'm gonna switch to the lo-fi beats. Oh my gosh, why is that so loud? There we go. But yeah, it's a game that, like, I would say, like, the production value is pretty high for it. The story is pretty interesting. The characters are kind of fun. The art style is pretty good. But some gripes that I have happens with some of, like, the later story stuff, if that makes sense. Yeah, I wish multi-platform purchases were more of a thing as well, because it's like, it's so weird that, like, you can own something, but you have to buy it again anyway, just because you have it on the wrong platform. It's like, I already own this thing. I just want to play it. I already bought it. I already paid for it. But, what was I gonna say? Yeah, and so, without giving any spoilers, there are, like, some twists towards the end of the letter that I wasn't a big fan of. And like the biggest gripe that I have with the letter in particular is that so the game has a true ending. But I really don't like the way that they implemented it. So basically, like in the game, as with most visual novels, you are allowed to make choices. And the interesting thing about the letter is that the game is split into like multiple chapters. And each chapter you play as a different character. So it's like chapter 1 you'll play as one character, chapter 2 you'll play as another character, and so each chapter you're playing as a different one of the main characters. You through that character you make choices, and those choices like not only affect the plot but also affect that character's relationship to other characters. So you can make like certain ships happen, like make certain people get together or not get together and things like that, or affect their friendships and all that kind of stuff, which is pretty interesting. Like, it's a cool idea. That part is really neato. And then at the end you kind of get like these little epilogue images, kind of similar to like in Dragon Age or whatever, where you have like the images at the end that kind of say like, oh, this is what your choices led to, and it's all cool and stuff. But then like if you don't follow the exact true ending, you basically get an ending that suggests that like what you didn't like actually, yeah, or like Fire Emblem, exactly. But like the only time is if you get like the true ending do you actually like defeat the main bad guys basically in the story and like defeat the curse or whatever. Otherwise you get like a kind of downer ending. And the true ending to me kind of sucks. Like several characters die in the true ending. Several of the main characters die in the true ending. And I guess like the idea, I think what the developers said was that the true ending is basically like how the characters would actually act. Yeah, now kiss, yeah. And like I can understand that, but at the same time it feels kind of like it defeats the whole purpose of the whole game. Like the gameplay is that you get to make choices, and anytime a game is like, but there's only one right choice though, it kind of, I feel like, defeats some of the purpose of it. At least that's how I usually see it. It's why I like a lot of the kind of Western visual novels that have been coming out recently, where it's a lot more D&D-esque, where making certain choices isn't necessarily a bad thing, and you kind of shape your own story. But I understand like some people who are kind of like part of the gameplay is trying to figure out that exact right path. But typically in most games you get rewarded for being able to like save everybody or whatever, right? Like usually the true ending is kind of the best ending in most games. That's not the case in the letter. The true ending in the letter is kind of a downer. Like several people die. If you literally get punished for saving everybody in the letter, which is bonkers to me. It's just bonkers. So I usually kind of just ignore the fact that there's a true ending, and I just go, my ending that I got was the true ending, and that's a fact. Because I think I managed to save everybody, and so I was like, that's my ending, okay? I worked hard for that ending. You're not taking that away from me. I got the ship that I wanted to happen. I got everyone to survive. I think I deserved the W on that one. Bit of a headache making me typo. Oh no. I totally understand, Rolf. I hope it goes away soon. Yeah, I'm pretty prone to headaches as well. Always have to have some ibuprofen with me just in case. Because I get migraines so often. Just all over the place. I'll just be chilling and then all of a sudden I'll feel nauseous and I'm like, oh god, here we go. Gotta take some ibuprofen, otherwise I'm gonna get some pretty bad headache. But yeah. Because, so, kind of going again with the true ending stuff, like, for example, Code Realize, Hakuoki, Caller X Malice, all of these games do have true endings. But these true endings are, like, pretty good endings. Like, all the important people live, you know, you solve all the mysteries, all that jazz. And so you feel, like, pretty good. You're like, heck yeah, I accept this true ending. But as in the letter, it's, like, kind of a Debbie Downer. And I'm like, that's kind of a sucky ending. And so originally I discovered the letter because, strangely enough, John Wolf, the YouTuber that I like, the horror YouTuber, ended up playing some of it, which is kind of surprising for him to have played it. And he had the same exact thoughts that I did when he went and beat it. Which I watched after I beat the game. Like, basically, I saw him play, like, a bit of the first chapter, and I was like, I want to play this. And then I played it, and then I watched the rest of his playthrough of it. And he had the same exact thoughts about the true ending stuff. He's like, that's so dumb. Such a dumb thing. Like, he started doing, like, a true route, and then he was like, what am I even doing? Why am I doing this? I already beat the game. We're not doing this again. And then he just left it and never completed it. And I'm like, that's fair. That's fair. But yeah. Also, the opening song for the letter is a bop. Also, I love that we're about to play another visual novel otome game, and I'm talking about a completely different one. We're about to play this one, and I'm like, but the letter, though. My brain's on that at the moment. Thinking all about that game. Instead, you'll love to see it. But yeah. Also, I ended up... So I'm like super kind of sipped dinner now. I'm debating on whether or not to still order food. You should definitely order food. You should absolutely order food. Here's the thing, Rolf. If you ever need to eat during the stream, remember, this game has voice acting. I have it turned off for now because we're planning on voice acting the characters. Or I could have it turned on first so we can kind of hear what they sound like and then turn it back off. But I have it off at the moment. Like, I went into settings and turned it off. But if at any point you need, like, a break and to, like, eat something or, like, do something else, I can always turn back on the voice acting. And then we'll just have that and I'll just still do, like, the narration or whatever. But it is a possibility. Yee. But yeah, just like with Hakuoki or Code Realize or any of those, like, it is fully voice acted. Yeah. Yeah. Ultimates is really good about this stuff. I mean, just a lot of the top, like, commercial otome games that come out from Japan typically are fully voice acted. But Otome especially, I think, has pretty high quality stuff. Like, their games are usually pretty good. Like, most people who are into Otome games like me tend to turn towards Otome for a lot of some of the best Otome visual novels. They're, like, top tier. They always do some pretty good stuff. Actually, I think they're coming out with a game... What is it? There's like a visual novel that I'm kind of like waiting for that I know is supposed to be coming out soon. I think it might be otome as well. Let me see. Oh, there's a game called Radiant Tail that's like circus themed, and I immediately thought, oh, Angel would be like the perfect person to play that. Yeah, it's like Verche Evermore, Error Salvation. It has like the weirdest name. That's why I can never remember it. I think this is otome. It might not be, but let me check. It's coming in November, around my birthday. Let's go. Where can I see where it's from? Yeah, developer Automate. Yeah. No, because Angel loves clowns. Like, Angel loves clowns. It's one of her favorite things. She absolutely loves them. And I don't mean that as like, oh, haha, joke. I mean, literally, she loves clowns. Anytime there's a clown in something, she's like, that's my favorite character. She loves it. Yes, she does. She loves that guy. She loves that guy so much. When she was like, I bet you guys can guess who my favorite character is. And I was sitting there like, I have no idea. Because, like, I was thinking of all the main characters. And I'm like, who among the main characters does Angel like the best? And then she's like, I can't believe you haven't guessed it. And she's like, it's the clown. And I'm like, oh, that guy. She's like, it's Buggy. I love Buggy. And I'm like, oh, yeah. Yeah, it was good. It definitely was good, Rolf. Let me see if I can pull up. But yeah, the game that I'm looking forward to next that's coming out soon, like the otome game, is Verche Evermore, Error Salvation, which is coming out in November, so around my birthday. I'm pretty excited for it. And it is another Automate game, so you know it's gonna be good. But yeah. I'm surprised they didn't have like another trailer for it. Bizarre. But yeah, another one that I liked that I played recently was Pio Fiore. That one's another good one from Automate. Like, Automate's just really good. Yeah, the live action One Piece was so good. They did such a good job with that one. They really, like, showcased what a live action anime adaptation can be. How good it can be if you have, like, the proper, like, people and money and whatnot, like, put into it. It's just very good. Okay, this is it. If I can pull it up on the screen. Boop. I can't use that one. Can't use that one. I'll use this one. Wait, I need to full screen this. Oh wait, first I need to... No! No! Ah. There we go. Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't released another trailer for this. They just have the Japanese like trailers still. I'm like, okay, even though it's coming out in November. Yeah. Yep, exactly, Rolf. Exactly. Like when you have like the actual like original creator involved and doing all that stuff is pretty good, and then when they try and like make their own stuff, then it's like oof, 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 oof. But yeah. Like I remember how basically what happened to Game of Thrones kind of ruined like the writers who were working on it. Cuz they had so many like upcoming projects apparently, but then Game of Thrones was so badly received during the final stretch that like it ruined it for them. Yeah. Yeah, the show was really good until the very end. Yeah. Yeah, and then that happened and they kind of lost it all. Which I kind of feel a little sad for them about, but at the same time, like, they didn't do a good job. But yeah, this is the game that I can't wait to play when it comes out. Once again from Otome.
ひとひらに願いを乗せて指先から染まる黒よ絶望さえ愛しいほどに死神が微笑んだ 手を伸ばしたら届きそうなの真実だと見えてる偽りに心がエラにさらわれるままに全てを失ってゆくせめてもう少しだけ終焉の花は血が彩る幻愛に流した命の後で交わした瞳の奥に見つけたたった一つのリコリスの愛永遠にあなたを思う
Yeah. That's it. Yeah, the aesthetic is so good. Like the art style, top tier right there. But yeah, that's like the main game that I'm excited for from Otome. Because Otome released like some other games, I think, this year as well, but I wasn't like. One of them, of course, was Pio Fiore's sequel, which I loved. But I think there was like a kind of more chill one. I think it. I don't remember the name. But I was kind of like, I don't know. Not my kind of vibe. I kind of like the more darker Otomes. But yeah. So I'm excited for this one. It looks pretty cool. I'll definitely play it when it comes out. But yeah. Their Otomate's great. Definitely love all their stuff. Definitely like the top Otome game creator from like official like actual studios creating it sort of thing. They do the best work. It's good stuff. But anyways, I'm ready whenever you are, Rolf, by the way. Actually, let me put the thing here in the call so that it's there. Yeah, I'm ready whenever. But yeah, I've seen a lot of people giving a lot of praise to it as well. Like,
Hello.
it's Rolf! Hi, Rolf. How are you?
I'm alright.
Hecky.
My food should be coming in like 20 minutes probably. So
Yeah.
if you hear a very loud doorbell, that's probably me.
I see. No worries. Just like, when you come back, I'll probably just put it so that it's, them actually talking. The voice acting is on so that you can
Yeah.
have some munchy munch.
Let's start with the voice acting on, so I can kind of hear what their voices are like.
Yeah, that's totally fine. We can totally do that. Also, hi
Like,
Mew,
trying to be
welcome.
somewhat accurate at least.
Yeah. Hi Mew, welcome to the stream. How's it going? I love ya. Also, what's funny is I think we didn't originally have the voice acting on for Hakuoki, but you kind of had it pretty accurate even without knowing what they sounded like. It was pretty good. Yeah, let me put it up on the screen because I still don't have it on the screen. Where is it? There it is. And then clicking on screen. Hopefully my controller is working properly and everything. We'll see.
We shall see.
You know, it's kind of funny to see, like, when a movie goes on like this. So with Ryu, the thing that I'm using for this, it like shows the activity that's going on in the background as like the game's running. And with movies and stuff, you think it's just like a pre-made thing, but it actually is running in system. Like there's a ton of like commands going off right now, which I always think is very funny to me.
Bitrate on Discord is not great. I don't know if I can improve it on my end. Might just have to deal with it.
Yeah, it'll also be better once we get to regular gameplay, I think.
Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts on screen right now.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, my thing is working. Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay, voice settings. Wait, what? No. Where was it? Oh yeah, here. This is where I changed it.
It's like 3 ways to change the voice.
Yep. So you could like choose to like just turn off one person's voice. Like I hate their voice. I'm just turning them off.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we have that done. But yeah, so I found out, like, the movie for this, because I mentioned before that they were making a movie for Caller X Malice, like an animated movie. It actually already came out, like, a few months ago, but only in theaters, so it's not, like, available to watch online or anything like that, sadly.
I see.
But it already came out, and apparently it's in 2 parts, which was kind of surprising to me. They were like, yeah, it's 2 episodes, and I'm like, what? So there's like a part 1, part 2 sort of thing, which kind of makes sense considering how long this game is, but yeah.
In for a long haul.
Yep. So, let's go. So we can change our name if we want, or we can just leave it as the default. So the default is
I'm always fine
Ichika.
with just leave.
Yeah, Ichika Hoshino. I think the other good thing about leaving defaults is with a lot of these games, they do have actual voice acting of the character saying the default name. Whereas, of course, if you change the name, they won't have voice acting for that. So we'll just go with the default. Yes.
X デー事件やばくない？超怖いよね。
まあ毎月起こってるしね。
新宿区だけで起こってるから危険区域ってことで規制
今
かかるん
月も
だって。
犯行予告な
Oh, this is so much quieter than the intro.
設定をお知らせします。
Stuff happening.
Yeah, that you have no idea about. Report of X-Day incidents. Report of the X-Day incidents. April 1st. The video that started all this played on the giant screen facing Shinjuku train station. Some people appearing to be police officers were tied up in the video, so police are working frantically to trace the broadcast.
Alright.
Prior to the broadcast, a number of officers have been reported missing. The transmission's origin and the officers were never found, and then May arrived. Another video showing the bound officers, like the one in April, was uploaded.
Oh no, they've become furries.
Yeah.
What have they done? They had them for a whole month. That's nice.
Yep. So yeah, this is why it's rated M for mature. Gunshots rang out during the declaration and the police officers were shot. The police traced the video to an abandoned building and confirmed one officer's death. However, other officers' bloodstains were found. The criminal's trail and the missing officer's whereabouts are still unknown. This incident began a chain of heinous crimes that continued into June, July, and August, and the number of victims steadily rose. Public scrutiny of the police grew harsh as time passed, and police efforts were fruitless. A Roman numeral indicating a countdown and a unique coin believed difficult to counterfeit were found at the scene. Markings on the coin lead some to speculate that the once dismantled terrorist organization known as Adonis had been reborn. And then, on September 1st, exasperated by the repeated incidents, the government enacted extreme measures. Shinjuku Quarantine Act. This measure, intended to trap the criminals within the borders of Shinjuku, obviously drew the wrath of the public. Demonstrations bordering on riots broke out, but the government suppressed these and stated that it was for Shinjuku's safety. The government did not stop there. It also adopted unprecedented extra-legal measures. Repeal of the Swords and Firearms Control Law. To provide citizens a means of defense, firearms were provided to all people over the age of 20 within Shinjuku.
Jesus.
Yep. It was all under the pretext of self-defense. The firearms and ammo were all coded in order to quickly determine a shooter's identity whenever a weapon was discharged. The criminals have guns, so the people should be given equal access to equal arms.
Just like America.
Yeah, you're all Americans. Thus, an extra legal measure, the residents of Shinjuku District exclusively have an obligation to carry firearms. The law, ratified behind closed doors, was suddenly announced to the public. The police had to obey the government's mandate, and the unrest of the citizens trapped within Shinjuku swelled. Though upset, one could say that the citizens were now better suited to survive other incidents. You would think.
I'm sure they won't just, start shooting each other.
Yeah. It was obvious this plan was full of holes.
Yeah, just like the people in Shinjuku.
Yep. But there was no turning back. On X Day, all would be reborn in order for their utopia to become reality.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to undo that measure. Just handing out 1 million guns and then being like, give them back, please.
Yeah, please give them back now. December 5th, 4 p.m. Yes, you have reached the SRCPO.
ああ、その声は星野さんでしょ。また銃を持った男がうろついてるのよ。
Isn't that all men?
Yeah.
All men have guns now.
Yeah.
星野、また例のばあさんからか
Yes.
その顔はまた押し切られたんだろう。お前な、これで何度目だ
You should start making notes about these voices.
Yeah. I'm sorry. She always hangs up before I can say anything, so I couldn't tell her no.
いいか、星野。今までのことを思い出してみろ。
So, I wonder which button... no. Okay, there we go. I was wondering which button would take me to the screen. Let me actually turn up the voice again.
Yeah, it was a bit low.
And maybe turn down everything else. Okay. Okay, there we go. And then let's save real quick since we're here. Yeah. There we go. So that's... Okay, that's the X button.
通報を受けて駆けつけても怪しいと思ったけど気のせいだったとか来てもらうまでもなかったとか
Still a little quiet, but oh well.
Yeah, I think he's also just a pretty quiet person.
Yeah. It certainly is true that we've gotten nothing out of It certainly is true that we've gotten nothing out of any of her reports so far. But the way Shinjuku is now, we can't be certain that it'll just be nothing again. Shinjuku is one of the 23 special wards of Tokyo. The X-Day incidents wrought by Adonis have led to the quarantine of Shinjuku from the rest of the country. Public opinion was strongly opposed to this action. Understandably.
ああそうなんだが
In any case, isn't the old woman just feeling uneasy? Until 3 short months ago, it would have been unimaginable for a common citizen to be carrying a gun like we are now.
星野お前は冷静だなとても警察官になって半年の新人とは思えないぞ
Huh? Really?
ああ俺が入りたての頃なんてもっと必死でちょとつ猛進というかがむしゃらに突っ走ってただけだからな
Even now, I think you're too bold. Sorry, I guess I should say hardworking.
いいな今は特防として苦情には平謝り嫌味を言われても平謝りな日々だ
This is the department of the police that the protagonist works for. This department was created in order to deal with the public calling in to report activity related to X-Day.
昔だったらすぐに頭に血が上ってたぞ俺も随分大人になったもんだ
Mm-hmm.
しかし特防は X デー事件の捜査をさせてもらえるわけじゃないからなそれだけが残念だ
Mochida is gazing into the distance again. He really wants to investigate those cases. Once the Quarantine Act was enacted, Shinjuku Station set up a service for residents. Oh wait, I accidentally went far. Oh well. We've been soliciting tips on the incidents, but we're really understaffed. Special Regions Crime Prevention Office, or the SRCPO, comprises officers from many areas. We mainly deal with calls like the one earlier, or unverifiable claims, and we also patrol Shinjuku to keep the peace.
That sounds like a shit job.
Yeah, but it's like we got the short end of the stick, basically.
It's like your whole day is just 1,000 people calling. There's a guy with a gun over here. Yep. Yep. That's a lot of those.
Yep. It's basically we have the customer service job of the police station.
Yeah.
Which is
Oh,
awful.
no.
Well, Chia and I were transferred from the local station here, so we often work together. Shinjuku is a hive of animosity and distrust, so it's not safe to go for a leisurely stroll. Usually when we get a report, we'll hear about how people don't trust the police. But it still looks like there are some people who rely on the police.
そうだなあんまりあのばあさんを待たせるわけにもいかないし行くか
Yes, sir.
今日も今日とてただ単に人相が悪い男がうろついてただけだったわけだなあのばあさんお前が話を聞くといつも帰る頃には安心した顔してるよな
You know what? I'm turning it up again.
Yeah.
Why is it so quiet?
It's very strange.
Put it all the way up, I guess. There we go.
Why is the music so loud?
I
compared
don't
to-
know.
Very
Okay.
odd.
Yeah, the audio in this is just pretty odd.
They have so many like detailed settings, but then the actual mixing is still so off.
Yeah. Well, she lives alone, so I don't think she has anyone else that she can count on. She looks kind of scary, but sometimes she talks about her grandchild. I'm sure that she's actually a kind person.
そういうのもお前が相手だから話そうって思えるのかもな。
It still doesn't sound right, but whatever.
子供やおじさんから話を聞くのはお前の方が適任だ。
Did they mix up the channels or something? Like, did we actually turn up the music instead? I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, it does kind of sound like we turned up the music. I can't tell.
Yeah, what happens if you set the voice to 0 now? Does the music go away? No. The settings by character all turned like way down or something? No, that is correct.
Bizarre.
Yeah. What if you go to settings by character?
That'll just be for each individual person, and they're all maxed.
And they're all set to high, so very strange.
Very strange. Anyways, oh wait, I almost hit me. I have to agree, Mochita is pretty much exactly like that.
星野、ここは否定するところだぞ。
Oh, sorry.
お前な。後輩なら少しは先輩を立てろって傷つくだろ。
Watch as we get to the main characters and they're like gonna blast our eardrums.
Yeah.
Like, oh god.
It's just this guy is just always whispering.
Mochita is my
I think
superior.
my food is here, but
Heck yeah. If you want to get it, we can pause for a second.
Yeah. I'll be right back.
Okie doke. Load materials dictionary. Wait, what the heck is materials? Oh, the investigation data. Oh, there we go. Shinjuku Station. The protagonist works here, the main police department in Shinjuku. The department employs roughly 700 people who are under the jurisdiction of the Metropolitan Police Department. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of police officers. Dang. Dangsy. Crazy. Gonna drink some coffee. But yeah, the Game of Thrones ending wasn't like the worst. But yeah, it definitely wasn't what was expected of it. Like when you have such high expectations and then you kind of fumble the ball, you know, it's never good. Though I will say the funniest thing about it is I do love how Azure always like mimics Jon Snow's voice of saying "McQueen." was one of my favorite things ever. So there's one positive that came from that. Also, apparently... There we go. You know, I should take like a quiz on like which Caller X Malice character would date me. Why is there like nothing on you quiz? Did nobody on you quiz play Caller X Malice? Okay, fine, I'll do the Quotev one. Okay. Try to find some information. Heck yeah, cats are the best. Which of these cases sounds the most interesting to you? I'm doing like a quiz. Got my food, just staying muted to eat. I see. I'm in the middle of doing a quiz on, that's titled, Who is Your Caller X Malice Boy? Do that. I love that it's like, with whom do you identify the most? And the top one is the sole survivor of a family homicide. What? A cult leader. I relate to the cult leader. What the heck? Sure, that one. This quiz is dumb. Which of these do you hate the most? There. Choose a color. Let's go blue. Favorite food. Yeah, I eat almost everything. Tell me about your dream boy. He should be a little weeb, just like me. Amazing. That one. What annoys you most about your boyfriend? My theory about Game of Thrones is that the show's ending exactly what J.R.R. Martin wanted. Now he's not finishing the books because he can't choose between writing an ending everyone already knows and hates or compromising on his vision by changing it. Yeah, I could see that. I can definitely see that. Oh my gosh, I got my favorite boy. I literally did not mean to do it, but I got my favorite boy. Again, I can't say who my favorite boy is without giving spoilers. I'm glad I didn't put this on stream. Amazing. Amazing. I love that there's one that's just forever single. Imagine playing a quiz like this and getting forever single. Heck yeah. Accurate quiz indeed. But yeah, got my favorite boy. The guy I wish had a route. Still so mad. But at least this quiz maker knows what's up by putting him on the quiz. You'd love to see it. Anyway, so I found where the definition we missed was. It's right here. So Shinjuku Station. The protagonist works here, the main police department in Shinjuku. The department employs roughly 700 people who are under the jurisdiction of the Metropolitan Police Department. So there we got that. But yeah. Uchida is my superior, but he always treats me like we're equals, so I really feel like I can just be myself around him. I thought the police force would have a strict pecking order, so that was a big relief, though I'd never admit that to his face.
Oi! あんたたち、警察だよな。ずいぶん暇そうじゃねえか。
He really does, Rolf. He gives off that vibe. Yeah. Huh? Though he's not actually one of the love interests. He's just one of the side caras. I turned to face the voice behind me. A vexed man with a gun glared at me.
俺たちが新宿に閉じ込められたのってさ、警察が無能なせいだろ。
責任取って今この場で土下座しろよ。できるよな。でねえと。
Yeah. Absolutely, Rolf. One of the men raised his gun at me.
やめとけ。
Mochida! Mochida swiftly closed the distance and disarmed the man with an arm lock.
お前、そいつを離せ。
銃による脅迫には刑罰が下される。お前たち知っててこんな真似してるのか？
それは。
だったらなんだって言うんだよ。文句あるのか？
This reminds me, I saw a post earlier today on Tumblr where it was like, it was actually sent to me by Azure. He found this post and sent it to me, and it was like the person was taking like a Japanese class, and apparently the person's teacher was like, you have really good pronunciation, but you should stop watching Yakuza films because you sound like a criminal.
俺は言い訳をするつもりはない。見たところ遊びたい盛りだろう。それなのにこんな事態に巻き込んだのは警察として申し訳ないと思う。しかしな、その鬱憤を晴らすために誰かを傷つけようとするな。
There we go.
その銃は身を守るために使うものだ。武器として扱うのは許さん。
probably, Rolf. Kora! Perhaps cowed by Mochida's words, they reluctantly lower their weapons.
それでいい。日も暮れるし、こんなところでつるんでないで、 もう帰る。
He also kind of gives big brother energy as well. Mochito returned the gun he took from the man and shooed them
い
off.
いか、一般人相手に同じ真似はするなよ。二度目はないぞ。
The trio retreated quietly and Mochito turned to
すま
me.
ん星野。今の奴らのことは
Yeah, big brother also loses hopefully, yeah. I know, we'll overlook this, won't we? There's no shortage of people who harbor that kind of animosity towards the police. Obstructing an officer is a jailable offense, though they're not exactly wrong for blaming the police for creating this situation. This typically refers to the act of interfering with police investigations. In the broadest sense of the phrase, it also refers to illegal activities by public employees. Pulling a gun on a cop is definitely jail, yeah. Mochito must have felt the same way, so he chose to simply let them go with a warning. I record the firearm number for their guns. Currently in the Shinjuku district, citizens over age 20 who meet certain criteria are given a firearm with an ID number. The firearm also has a sensor that reports the number and location when it is fired.
もう助かる。あいつらも根は悪い奴らじゃないと思うんだ。一人は銃の安全装置をかけたままだったし。しかしお前も頼もしくなったな。銃を向けられても冷静に状況を見て行動できてる。
Yes, it's kind of weird to say that I'm used to it, but I can assess the situation now. Once the swords and firearms law got repealed, I would tremble if I was drawn on. The full official name of the law is the Swords and Firearms Control Law. Handguns, small arms, and blades exceeding a specific length are all restricted under this law. It has currently been repealed in Shinjuku. Despite my training at the police academy, I lost my nerve on several occasions when someone pointed a gun at me with hostility. The academy, as cops refer to it, is where police officers are trained. Once a candidate passes the employment exam, they are trained here. Students may be sent out as backup for on-duty police officers in crises. Some firearms lobbyists definitely got a promotion for getting the government to order 1 million of these e-guns. Exactly. But every time that happened, Mochita stepped in and protected me. It's all thanks to you, Mochita. Watching you handle yourself like you just did has eased my fear of guns quite a
こ
bit.
ういうのは場数を踏んでいくうちに慣れてくるもんだ。それにこういう時くらい先輩らしいところを見せないとな。
Mochita puffed up his chest and then let out a carefree laugh. He's relaxed like an easygoing uncle, but he's my reliable superior. I like the little police mascot. When we returned to the station, we could hear the stirrings of a commotion.
また誰かしょっぴかれたか。
Well, crime rates in Shinjuku are at a record
そ
high.
れも再犯じゃなく初犯が大半だ。一般人が現状に納得していない証拠だろうな。混乱に乗じて犯罪に手を染める奴もいれば、第二の英雄になろうとしてる奴もいる。
Heroes, huh? Last month, a criminal claimed responsibility for X Day and started shooting randomly. Bystanders gunned him down, and the incident ended without any innocent victims, but there was talk of thank yous and rewards, and more people started to do the same. The criminal died of his wounds, but investigators found no connection between him and X Day. The theory is that he was a copycat criminal. Copycat criminals are criminals who copy the style of notorious crimes that have been committed by other people. The X Day incidents always have unique coins, making it easy to weed out copycat crimes. Due to this incident, however, the number of people actively carrying guns increased.
国民の手で犯人を裁いたことがもてはやされ、軽犯罪の抑止力にもなっていると言われているが、本来なら犯人逮捕は俺たち警察の仕事だ。それなのに。
Officer Mochita, we don't know who might be listening. Mochita looked around and made a sour expression. He lowered his voice.
すまん。上から納得しろと言われましたが、どうも煮え切らなくてな。
I know how you feel. I'm just as impatient as you are. As a police officer, I also want to help solve the X-Day cases. All I could do is lend an ear to the citizens that turn to the SRCPO. Yeah, yeah, exactly, Rolf. It's like when we played that one game in Gmon, that one map. And there was an intruder, but we had just like these guns, so we just blasted him when he tried to get in the door. And that was a win. We beat him. Oh my gosh. That was so good. I still think about it all the time. But yeah. Exactly. Like, it is a little funny to imagine like a guy being like, I did the X day, and then everybody in the vicinity just turning and blasting him. That's all I can do.
な星野、俺は地域企画課に用があるから先に戻っててくれるか。
Yeah, just every single person in the vicinity is like that one gif where from that one series where the lady is like, okay, so I know that from a statistical standpoint, some of you must have like some cigarettes and whatnot on you, so I'm gonna close my eyes and there better be a cigarette in my hands. And all the kids, like, the one kid, like, hands the cigarette, but then in the next shot it shows, like, 20 lighters, showing that they all have a lighter. Yes, sir. I parted ways with Mochita, and soon I came across a familiar face. Good work today, Sayaki.
星野、お疲れ。もう上がるのか?
No, not yet. I was just on my way to file a report. We attended the academy together and became friends while we were out drinking. We also got assigned to the same office, so we're drinking and venting buddies. What about you, Saiki?
いや、俺もお前と同じで報告書を書かなきゃでさ。あ、そういや、明日飲みに行く約束忘れてないよな。
Yeah, I have a lot of things I want to ask you.
なんだ、また悩み相談か？お前特防になってから多いよな。警察学校にいた頃は犯罪者を一人でも多く捕まえてみせるって燃えてたのにさ。
Yeah, from that 70s show, yeah. Well, back then I never would have imagined things would turn out this way.
俺はお前の熱血ぶり嫌いじゃなかったけどな。窓際の特防に追いやられて情熱までなくしちゃったか。
No, it didn't. My feelings haven't changed a bit from back then.
お、急に元気になったな。やっぱお前はそうでなくちゃ。
This guy, Saiki, so basically it showed that he's like a fellow police officer. He's like 23 years old. Do not look him up. Do not look him up, Rolf. Do not look him up. Do not type his name. Trust me on this one. Do not type his name. No. Just trust me on this one. Don't look him up. But basically, he's one of our police buddies, and we went to the academy together, and we also are drinking buddies. So that's kind of Sayaki's whole deal, and we also work in the same department as well. No, Rolf! Rolf! But yeah, I'll just say it. If you look him up, you may end up seeing some spoilers, basically. So, no looking him up. Without thinking, I flashed a smile in response to Saiki's grin. I feel a bit more relaxed now. Saiki knows just the right thing to say when my mind is like this.
Hello.
Welcome back.
I have finished eating.
Heck yeah, what'd you eat?
Kebab.
Ooh, tasty.
Or kapsalon specifically.
Ooh.
I don't know if you know what that is.
No, I do not.
It's kind of a funny story. I mean, it literally means barbershop. Because, like, there's this guy who's a barber who would always go to the kebab shop and he would order, like, a custom dish. And so eventually they just, for shorthand, called it barbershop. Because it was his order. And then it became really popular, and now it's like one of the most popular kebab dishes in the Netherlands, and it's become like international even.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Sadly, the barber that invented it died recently, but he left a legacy for sure.
Yeah, that's all we can hope for.
Basically, it's just either kebab or shawarma with fries, and then cheese on top, and put in the oven, and then salad on top.
Ooh, that sounds really good, actually.
Yeah, it's like a stereotypical, like if you go out drinking as a student, then afterwards you get this.
I see. But yeah, that's all we can really hope for, is that we'll leave some kind of, thing behind.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's cool. I always love, like, when food has, like, interesting stories like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a big
Why the hell is it called this?
Yeah, why is it called this, or how was this made? Like, I think sandwiches has, like, a kind of interesting story to it.
Yeah.
And I do know that, like, tea was apparently made because, like, I think some guy was just, like, boiling water, and then, like, some of the leaves fell in the water, and then he was like, this kind of tastes pretty good, actually. Like, most things are made by accident, is kind of how a lot of these things end up.
Yeah, I mean, some guy just had a weird fetish, and then we discovered you can drink milk from cows.
I wonder if that's actually the case. I don't think so.
I think it's pretty, like, logical. They see that calves drink milk, and, humans drink milk, of course, as well. So it's not that big of a stretch, really.
Yeah.
Especially if you're hungry and desperate and you have a cow, then yeah, why not?
Yeah. He's a big reason
or maybe
why.
It started with like maybe some mother was unable to give milk to her own child, and they were like, well, we have a cow, let's give him cow's milk instead.
Yeah, I do wonder now. Cow's milk. I wonder if there's like a thing that states where it came from.
It's gonna be difficult, I think, because it's been a thing for so long.
Yeah. Let's see. History. Yeah, it's been since the Neolithic Revolution, so it's... They've been doing it forever.
The Neolithic Revolution is when they started deposing all the cave kings.
Yeah. Yeah, it says...
They had stone guillotines to cut off their heads.
9,000 to 7,000 BC in Mesopotamia. Oh my gosh. Huh.
Yeah, it's. I think it's pretty like
yeah.
obvious. It's just like obviously it's food because
Yeah.
It's how we feed our babies, and we see animals feeding their babies.
Yeah.
It must be edible.
Yeah. Yeah, it's things like that where it's kind of like that's more just common sense. Whereas some other things we developed are definitely just like we stumbled across it. Like I always think about how like that's how antibiotics was made. Was because of
yeah, that was by accident.
Yeah, by accident. Though as my biology as my biology teacher always used to say was that it wasn't it's like a mixture of accident plus having the right person at the right time. Because the
I mean,
other
probably someone else made penicillin before, but didn't know. Because
yeah.
they're not a biologist. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because apparently, not only that, but like the other people in the lab didn't see it, the importance of it.
Petri dish.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
yeah.
he showed it to like some of the other people, and they were like, "Why are you freaking out so much about this?" And he's like, "Think about it." So it was, definitely
Use your fucking brain.
it was definitely like right person at the right time, along with
Yeah.
it being an accident.
I wonder how
yeah.
many things, potential inventions, have been lost because of like they were just disregarded.
Yeah. Big sad.
I mean, also like gunpowder was also a big coincidence. It was serendipitous. So they were trying to make like a immortality elixir with alchemy or some shit. And then they invented gunpowder by accident.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, this makes fun sparkles. We can use it like for festivals." And then like it still took like 500 years before they weaponized it.
Yeah. I mean, it just goes to show it like depends on who's like the one looking at it and how it's like utilized.
Yeah.
Because we'll all have like different priorities and different perspectives on things, and that's kind of why it's important to have like all the various perspectives, because we'll all have kind of different views on something that may lead to different utilizations and opportunities.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was. Bring it back to. I mean, of course, we're completely on a tangent, but whatever. It's fun. Bring
It's
it back
totally
to like
fine.
how foods are discovered. I was thinking like with stuff like mushrooms.
Yeah.
it's such a crapshoot whether they're poisonous or not.
Yeah.
How many people died just eating random mushrooms? And
Yeah. I mean,
because it's not even like if you eat one, then that's bad. Then suddenly all of humanity will know it's bad. Like multiple people have had to die
Yeah.
from eating the wrong mushrooms before we figured it out.
Yep. Yep. I mean, that's the case with a lot of like food, and because it wasn't just with mushrooms, like they had to do it with herbs and stuff as well. Like it probably took ages to realize like which ones are good.
Some berries are very poisonous and stuff. Yeah.
So it's all kind of trial and error all these years until like that's kind of the importance of having like a lot of things like documented now, of being like, oh, you should learn like which ones are poisonous or not and things like that.
Us modern humans are very privileged to have access to this knowledge that our ancestors died for.
Yep, exactly.
And also access to plentiful food, so we don't have to become desperate enough to try things that may or may not kill us.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. Exactly. Like having to basically what is it? Like it's basically like all those people have become sort of the foundation that now we can like stand upon.
Yeah.
Which is kind of
There's
crazy.
also so many like conditions that are now considered relatively minor that would just fuck you over so hard in like old days.
Yeah.
Like if you had celiac disease in the medieval times, you would just be fucked.
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna survive if you can't eat like gluten in the medieval times.
Yeah. Whereas now it's like so many more people can't survive. Yeah.
It's a bit annoying. We like have to work around it, but like you'll be fine.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah.
He's a big
Mr. Blonde guy over here.
Yeah. He's a big reason why I can stay optimistic in this job despite all the dilemmas I face.
なんだ誰と話してるのかと思えば佐伯かお疲れ様です内田さんああお前はもう上がりかいえもう一頑張りしないとですそれじゃあ失礼しますね
Saiki bowed slightly towards Mochida and gave me a look.
頑張れよ
Yeah, thanks. 頑張れ
お前たちは相変わらず仲がいいな明日も飲みに行くんだろ
Huh? Did I mention that?
佐伯だよ1週間くらい前だったかな俺のところに来て飲みに行く日はお前に残業させないでほしいって頼まれてさ
Sorry, Saeki's a little too straightforward sometimes.
まあこんな時だからな。羽を伸ばすのも大事だろう。
Wait, so she's already dating him?
Oh no, Saeki is just like our good friend. He's like, we went through the academy together, and now we're drinking buddies, and we hang out all the time. Like, we're basically best friends.
Yeah. They're two opposite sex best friends who hang out one-on-one and definitely aren't, you know.
Yep. But yeah, he's not one of the love interests either, Saeki.
No, wow.
Nope. We haven't met any of the love interests yet.
I really had him
Well.
down for love interest number one. Or at least number one, as in the first one we meet.
Yeah. I mean, technically, he can be, like, as I said, like, this game, along with some others, like, I played, oh my gosh, what's it called? Birushana. That, like, for some of the, especially the sequel game that came out, because there is, like, a sort of sequel, I forgot what the full title is, ended up having like a little side extra routes, which they also did with Code Realize as well. Like in some of the some of the sequel stuff, you could date like some of the other characters as well, and that's the same with this sequel as well. It kind of added some extra routes.
Yeah.
Which is always pretty cool.
Cool.
After I handed my report off to Mochida, I suddenly remembered something. I should stop by before I head home. When I have even a little bit of free time, I practice at the station's shooting range. I want to improve my skills just in case they're needed, plus shooting helps calm my nerves and deal with anxiety. I took a firing stance and took a deep breath. My hands used to shake just holding it. Even when firing on static targets, I was reluctant to hold a weapon for killing people. I was afraid. The day that I dispelled that hesitation was during training one day at the academy.
まだ残ってたのか？その顔じゃまた迷ってるみたいだな。
Have you ever fired a gun?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I have not.
Yeah, me neither. I'm not really pro gun, but I would like to fire one.
Yeah,
one time
I would
just
like to
see what
try
it's
it.
like,
Yeah. But yeah, like
I shot like an air rifle, but doesn't really count.
Yeah. Yeah, the only things I've ever shot is like laser guns or paint guns or things like that. So not real things. But yeah, like my brother is kind of a gun enthusiast. He has like some guns and stuff, but I've never owned or fired a gun. Like I don't know if I could really even do it properly since like I naturally shake, so my hands shake.
Right,
so like I don't know if I could properly even fire a gun. Oh, hi Adam, welcome to the stream. How's it going? And yeah, we're talking about guns. There's a lot of guns in this game.
Welcome to the gun show.
Yeah, we're now pro gun. Let's go. Hey.
Hell yeah, brother.
America. Saeki, I don't think I'm suited for this job after all. I'm just shooting a target now, but what if it were a real person? I know I'd miss in that situation.
Killing people, of course.
Huh? For catching criminals, right?
そこからしてちょっと頭固いんじゃないか。俺は銃を撃つのは守るためだと思ってる。誰もが持てるもんじゃない。俺たち警察だけに許された守る手段だろ。
Shooting to protect.
人質を取った犯人の隙をつく。逃亡しようとする奴の足止めをする。正確な射撃能力があればそれも可能になる。
Permanently.
Oh, snap.
でも、撃つ覚悟と能力が備わってなけりゃ、人質をミスミス死なせてしまうかもしれない。 犯人を逃して被害を広げるかもしれない。
And I'm doing well, Adam. How are you doing?
殺すためじゃない。守るために撃つ。そうは考
Sure,
え
keep
られ
telling
ないか。
yourself that.
Yeah, you're right. The reason we're issued guns is because we're responsible for protecting the people.
でもさ、星野。銃を持つことを許された俺たちだからこそ、最悪の事態を考えなきゃダメだと思うんだ。
Yeah, I feel that way, Adam, too. It's like, if you're at, like, a firing range or something, it's just kind of fun. Whereas, like,
Yeah.
on a
Just a hobby
day-to-
bit.
yeah. Whereas on a day-to-day basis, that's, like, a different thing. Worst case scenario. You mean where we might have to kill to protect the innocent?
たとえそれで犯罪者の命を奪ったとしても、何かを守るためには代償を負う覚悟が必要だろう。もしそういう選択を迫られたとき、お前は犯罪者を撃つ覚悟があるか？
Yeah, when the time comes, you know, like when some guy is just selling CDs and you have him pinned to the ground, then you need to take the shot. You just have to.
Oh no, that's so dark.
Sorry.
No, it is great. After listening to his words, I understood what the weight of a weapon meant to Saiki. For him, this was not just a tool for killing. It was a means to protect people. I shouldn't hold a gun without the resolve, and a police officer must be ready to shoot. After that, I devoted myself to training. As Saiki said, conviction alone is worthless. Without marksmanship, a gun would still just be a killing weapon. To make sure that I would be able to protect, I've been training at the range daily. My skills have improved dramatically. In fact, marksmanship is my greatest skill. Of course, I doubt my performance in the field will mirror my skill and training. I never
You need to
know.
do the lucky look training where you're just shooting people's guns out of their hands and stuff.
Yeah. I never know when that time will come, but when a key moment comes, I don't want regrets. As long as Shinjuku stays this way, as long as the X-Day incidents are unsolved, I get the feeling that I'll need to be ready.
It's cool, Adam.
Yeah.
I only did paintball once, and the instructor guy was terrible, so I did not have a good time.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I've only done it like once myself as well. But yeah, that's pretty funny. That's a guy dressed in the Predator costume would just go and get everybody. That's amazing. I aimed my pistol again and raised my head. I think laser tag is better. What? Good, that's it. So basically, I actually have to press the button when I do that. So I did that, by the way.
Oh, okay. You don't have to actually aim. Okay.
No, it's just like basically when that thing hits the right space, I have to press A.
Ah, okay. It's like a timing thing.
Yeah.
Cool, cool.
Yeah. Did the good job. A. Phew.
Bullseye.
Bullseye. Before I knew it, an hour had passed. In the end, all of my shots had formed a tight grouping in the center. I let out a deep sigh.
さすが相変わらずの腕前だな。
Whoa! Surprised by the sudden voice behind me, I spun around, startled. Saiki, you still haven't left?
結構時間かかっちゃってさ。息抜きにサボろうかと思ったら、お前がこっち来るの見えたから。
Oh, were you watching this whole time? You should have said something.
あれだけ集中してるの見て邪魔できないって。それに俺、好きなんだ。
Just watch for an hour. It's kind
Yep.
of weird, yeah.
Huh?
You at least, like, when she's reloading or something, you can
Yeah.
be like, yeah.
なんか心が落ち着くっていうか。
Should start a firing
いろんなもの
range
が
3.
浄化される
Get
感
some
じ。
side hustle.
Heck yeah. What the heck? Should I be happy to hear that?
もちろん褒めてるんだぜ。俺は尊敬してるんだ。お前のそういう 努力家で一生懸命でまっすぐなとこ。
Where is this suddenly coming from? You won't get anything out of flattering me. He's always confident, so something felt off. Saiki let out a small chuckle at my attempt to deflect my
お
embarrassment.
前は昔から熱心だったけどさ、ここ数ヶ月頻繁に来るようになったのは銃刀法が解除されたからだろ。
Yeah. As he said, it was around then. He knew, even though I hadn't spoken about it. I definitely intensified my training after the weapons ban was lifted. Because this hunk of metal, which a trained police officer needed conviction to wield, had been distributed to the untrained masses. The world had turned into a place where people would half-jokingly draw guns at other people, just as those men had done earlier today.
見たところ遊びたい盛りだろう。それなのにこんな事態に巻き込んだのは警察として申し訳ないと思う。しかしな、その鬱憤を晴らすために誰かを傷つけようとするな。その銃は身を守るために使うものだ。武器として扱うのは許さん。
When I remembered Mochita's words, the pistol felt heavier than ever. This was not something to be taken lightly. I'm sure that many of the citizens baffled by the government policy felt similarly. Some objected to the distribution of guns, but now some people will obviously use them. And not just for self-defense. I don't know what they were thinking when they decided to make civilians carry this burden. I have the conviction to shoot. I am a cop. That's my responsibility. I'll fulfill my duty no matter what, but...
その覚悟を持てない一般人が引き金一つで人を殺せる武器を手にした。俺もおかしいって思うぜ。
Welcome to America!
武器を持てるのはある意味選ばれた人間だ。そうじゃなきゃ。
That just means you have to carry bigger guns.
Yeah. You gotta
Turn it
carry a
into an arms
bazooka
race.
now.
Imagine that. It's like a hostage situation. You want to take out the hostage taker and just blow away all the hostages along with him. Well, that's another job well done.
Oh my god.
Sorry, we just don't have anything
Yeah.
smaller.
Yeah, that's all we
Couldn't
got.
be avoided.
Yeah. Well, very sad all the losses we had to deal with today. Couldn't be avoided. I see what you're saying.
All those 20 innocents died so we could get this one criminal.
Yeah, this one guy. It was all worth it. Even if the government says this is for self-defense, I think this is wrong. The people who run the country don't want to talk about what they've done here. I'm not in a position to protest it, but I can't approve of a world where people are suddenly made to wield a weapon. Words alone aren't enough. When the moment comes, my skills need to prevent civilians from ever having to use their guns.
お、俺も負けてられないな。まあ、さすがにお前には勝てそうにないけど、努力以前にお前の射撃は天性のもんだよ。
Saiki strolled away with a bright laugh. As I watched him leave, he looked back at me with a vague smile.
なあ、星野。お前は犯罪者を目の前にしたとき、守るために撃つ覚悟があるんだよな。
Yeah. I could now resolutely answer the question that he had asked me before. I returned Saiki's smile and settled into a firing stance with my gun. I pulled the trigger without hesitation, as if to demonstrate my determination.
I turned my gun sideways like a gangster.
Conviction was carved into my heart. And then I shot, and then I missed. And then I shot, and then I missed again. And then I shot, and I still
passed
missed.
out. I had a popsicle. Yeah.
I left the station and walked to my home when a brisk wind made me shiver. Ooh, that's cold. Even through a muffler and a thick coat, the December chill stung my body. My breath exited my body as a tiny white cloud, and I glanced at the nearby buildings. This place sure has changed. Shinjuku used to be bustling day and night. Nowadays, it was mostly empty after nightfall. Much of society just stopped functioning once Shinjuku became quarantined. Shops, schools, and utilities continued to work to the government's satisfaction, but everything else was non-existent. So long as the criminals remained at large, there would always be an uneasiness here. It's hard to tell people to live their normal lives in this situation. You couldn't just visit friends anymore. You had to weigh it against being targeted. People didn't know whether they or their loved ones would be the next victims, but they had to go on living somehow. It was hard to put into words just how much I missed life before the quarantine. I know I'm not the only one who has come to this realization.
Nani?
I hurriedly took out my phone, which was displaying Mochida's name. Does he have a problem with my report? Wondering what I'd do if I was asked to return, I answered the call. Yes, this is Hoshino.
上がったばかりで悪いんだが仕事だ。何でも新宿園内で揉め事があったらしい。
Shinjuku Garden? Anyone hearing that name would be wary. The X-Day incident in August, Shinjuku Garden was the scene of the crime and the epicenter of much public fear. It should be closed off to the public.
場所が場所だけに X デー事件と無関係とも言い切れない。交番勤務の奴らは別件でほとんど出払ってるらしくてな。俺たちに応援要請があったってわけだ。
Acknowledged. I'll head there right away.
相手がどんな連中かわからないからな。俺が行くまで必ず現場で待機してろよ。
I know. I won't act on my own. I ended the call and hastily made my way over to Shinjuku Garden. When I arrived, I quickly scouted the area and assessed the situation. Nobody's here? The area was dark and visibility was poor. It'd be tough for me to tell if anyone was laying an ambush in there. Just in case, I drew my sidearm. I'd gone into the habit of always carrying my weapon, and I had practiced often, but I had never actually used it in the field. So to be honest, I was nervous. Still, if I was confronted with someone who intended to take the lives of others, I can't hesitate. While cautiously eyeing my surroundings, I approached the sealed gate to Shinjuku Garden. Why isn't Mochida here yet? It seemed like it was taking him an awfully long time to get to Shinjuku Garden. I wonder if he's gotten into some trouble. While I was debating whether to call him, I heard the sound of footsteps approaching. Ah, is that Mochida? I turned around. I felt something... Yep. I felt something push against my waist, then a shock coursed through my body. Ah!
Well.
Yep, the end of the game. Big
Rip.
sad.
Bad end.
Yep.
Picked the wrong choices.
Yeah. I shot too well at that one part.
Yeah, it's the only agency you had.
Yeah. I opened my eyes and saw a flickering light. Where am I? I tried to get up, but my body was numb and unresponsive. I couldn't move. What's going
hell's a
on?
taser.
I tried
Knock
to
you
move my
out.
head to at least get a sense of my surroundings. Something's there. I felt a strange pressure around my neck. I wanted to check what it was, but I couldn't even raise my hands. No, why? It was as if my body wasn't my own. Still, I gradually regained the use of my hands and I timidly felt my neck. Is this a collar? I grew pale as I felt the
it's your turn to
metallic
die again.
coldness. Yeah. Oof. Yeah, that's where the collar part of this title comes from.
No, the kidnappers have a fetish.
What is this? What is going on? What is it doing on me? And what am I doing here? Looking around, I saw that the floor around me was covered with what looked like red flowers. Flowers scarlet like blood.
Alright, not at all concerning.
Yep. Looking up, I could see the moonlight cascading through the stained glass. Am I in a church? My body was paralyzed for reasons unknown. Hey, Sarah! Welcome to the stream. How's it going?
Hello.
I love ya. And yeah, we're playing Collar X Malice, one of the best otome games One of the greatest from otome.
Of all time, I've been told.
Yeah, it's
Just now.
very good. It is very good. I was wearing an unfamiliar collar, yet the ephemeral beauty of the stained glass dominated my attention for a moment. Where have I seen this stained glass?
どうやらお目覚めのようですね。星野一花さん。
Oh no, aliens.
Yep. The voice was close. It was from the collar.
突然このような場所にお連れしてさぞや驚かれていることと思います。ですがどうしてもあなたと二人で話がしたいと思いこのような形を取らせていただきました。
Who are you? Did you put this collar on me? Why did you...
その問いに今は答えることはできません。ただどの道あなたは我々にたどり着くことになるでしょう。
What do you mean?
あなたは選ばれた実験体なのです。これから私は X デーまでの間、そしてあなたが自分の正義を貫いたその時こそ、こんな形ではなく、直接お会いすることをお約束します。
What is your goal? What experiment? What have you done to me?
お静かに出ないと死にますよ。
Bum bum bum.
Bum bum bum.
あなたの首につけさせていただいた首輪には資料の毒が仕込まれています。
Poison?
ただ現在あなたの体を蝕んでいるのは遅効性の毒で資料ではありません。ここで死んでもらっては困りますからね。
They say their goal isn't to kill me. That's why I'm in this paralyzed state. I have no idea what they're up to. Everything I learned only made me more tense. Still, as a police officer, I couldn't just sit quietly and take this. Well, Sarah, I have played through Color X Malice before, and I do like it a lot. Though, sadly, my favorite character isn't one the love interest. Dangsy, the Anya boy, isn't one the love interest. Though there is, like, several Anya-adjacent boys. Anya boy-adjacent characters.
Low lives meaning. Don't worry, we'll read it for you.
Heck yeah. Hey, Lives Meeting, welcome to the stream. I love you
So
so
I think
much.
for today I'll just listen, and then maybe next time I'll do voices.
Yeah. After all, the voice coming from the caller mentioned something about X Day. I have to investigate further. I need to at least get some useful information so I can report it.
なお、このことは警察に口外しないでください。
I am the police.
あなたも身近な人間や大切な人を失うのは悲しいでしょう。
I don't know how much this criminal knows about me, but if they're going to threaten the people close to me, I won't forgive you. I'll never forgive you for this.
あなたのその言葉が嘘ではないといいのですが。我々は薄っぺらい正義心などに興味はない。求めるのは崇高な志なのです。
Yeah, I know. Exactly, Sarah. Exactly. Though, luckily, like, the sequel kind of has, like, some extra routes for people. So, at least there's that.
この世に満ちた悪意、曖昧な法、理想ばかりが鮮やかで形のない正。真実を知ったあなたがどう抗うのか、我々と共に再生を導けるのか、楽しみにしていますよ。さあ、見せてください。星野一花さん、あなたの正義を。
Sure.
Yep.
Fucking weirdos.
Oh, we've already watched the opening. Let me skip! No, they want me to. They're like, nah, you're watching the opening again. Because I'm pressing the button, it's not skipping it.
Well.
I mean, it's a bop at least.
Yeah, that's true. Pew pew.
Pew pew. But yeah, here we're seeing the list of love interests here. Yeah, I wish we would get the Bustafellow sequel. I enjoyed the first one.
So we've got 5 love interests?
Yes.
Did I
Yep.
see that correctly?
Yep.
Alright.
Yep. And we're about to meet them soon.
All of them.
Yeah. They're all connected to each other, so we'll meet them pretty soon, in like a second.
They're Siamese quintuplets. That'll be awkward.
I understood every word. Sure.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. But yeah, like, I also played the original Bustafellow Sarah, and I enjoyed it. I loved how they made it like a TV show, kind of like watching an anime. But yeah, maybe one day they'll bring it. Sometimes it takes them years before they actually localize a game. I wondered how much time had passed. Despite my entreaties, the caller was silent. My body was still paralyzed, and worse, I felt it getting harder and harder to breathe. They said it wasn't a
Localized entirely in
lethal...
your kitchen.
What was that, Rolf?
If you have start a localization team from home, then you can make things that are localized entirely within your kitchen.
Ah, snap, you're right.
Call it Aurora Borealis Studio or something.
Yeah, let's go. They said it wasn't a lethal dose, but I don't know if that's true. At this rate, if nobody finds me soon... It's a what joke?
No, it's the Simpsons joke.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've seen some Simpsons, but definitely
The
not
steamed
enough.
hams meme.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I should have gotten that. I don't know why I didn't get that. Oh, heck yeah. I always like it when fans go around and translate stuff. It's like, oh, if they're not going to do it, we'll do it.
Some games out there that wouldn't be known in the West at all without fan translations.
Yep. A lot, actually. Especially some older titles.
Yeah.
As that thought suddenly crossed my mind, my vision grew dark. I'm scared. Somebody help me.
No.
お前
Oh my. Nani?
おいしっかりしろ
Oh, that's cool, Sarah. Ooh, what game is that? What game is that, Sarah? Somebody found me. Perhaps I would be saved. While clinging on to that shred of hope, I looked at the man in front of me. Hey, one of our love interests.
It's the dude.
Yeah. Ayakashi Gohan. Heck yeah. I've never heard of that, but I'll check it out.
It's the guy from Dragon Ball Z. It's Goku's son.
Heck yeah. But yeah, I was talking about earlier before we started playing that I really want to. I'm like looking forward to the upcoming otome game that's coming out here in November. The Verche Evermore Air Salvation. That one. I'm really pumped up for when that game comes out because it looks really cool.
Gesundheit.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of the images for the game you mentioned, Sarah, and it looks pretty neato. I'll have to check it out. Who are you?
無理に喋るな。俺はお前を探していたんだ。
He's also the true route in this game as well.
Yeah. He has that true route vibe already.
Yeah. Me?
お前の状況は把握してる。心細かっただろうが、もう大丈夫だ。大丈夫だ。絶対に助ける。
Yes, we have the antidote right here. We'll remove the collar and that's
Yeah, and it's like, oh shoot, end of game. Once I heard those words, my crippling terror began to subside a bit. However, some doubts stubbornly remained. They were looking for me, and they know what's happened to me. How did they know? How did they know I was here? After having that realization, my would-be savior suddenly seemed much more frightening.
Yeah, Sarah.
Amazing.
There are a lot of characters in Dragon Ball are named after food.
Ah, I see. That makes sense.
Like all the Saiyans are named after vegetables and stuff.
He must have seen a change in my expression. The man looked at me and then...
これじゃまるであの時と同じだ。
He seemed kind of sad as he murmured that, so I couldn't take my eyes off of him. Why is he making that face?
今度こそ俺は
I couldn't catch the end of his whisper. Huh? This voice. For an instant, something clicked in my mind. I'd seen these sorrowful eyes somewhere, a voice that filled me with a deep calm. This should have been our first meeting, but I felt like those qualities were familiar. Yeah, Ayakashi Gohan is feelsy as fuck and gorgeous, and the MC is voice, and there's legit 2 versions of her depending on choices you do in the childhood prologue. That's cool. I want to play that now. It's like we just stopped playing this, and I'm like, we're not playing that. Who are you? Just as I opened my mouth to voice that question.
柳先輩
Other love interests. I said that they're basically like all together.
その女か。
ああ
It's the weirdos of the group.
間違いない、予告状はお前が持ってたな。
I see, I see. Yeah, it's always a struggle, Sarah, when there isn't like an official one and you have to figure out how to do it. And it's like, I wish there was an official translation.
はい、ここに。
The man lifting me in his arms took what appeared to be a letter from a man who was wearing an eye patch.
これは俺たち宛てに届いた予告状だ。
He unfolded the sheet so that I was able to see it. As part of the X-Day countdown, a woman will be poisoned to death on the 6th of December at 12 a.m.
How lovely.
There is only one way to save her. You must enter the unlocked code given below into the collar the woman is wearing. Furthermore, if the police are notified, we will immediately kill the woman.
The woman.
Yeah. Also, if
We
you
are
do...
now the woman.
Yeah, we're just the woman. Yeah. Also, if you do play, make sure to make a save at each first of the choices when playing the different versions of Rim, because some of the text that gets added between routes before then can soft lock you otherwise, which I found out the hard way on its final true route. I fixed it, but ooh boy, did it suck figuring it all out. I see, that might be part of the reason why it was never translated, because maybe some of those issues kind of prevented the actual translation. Even if you save the woman, you are not to speak of the caller. We will be monitoring your actions through the caller. Should you violate any of these terms, you will be placing her life in jeopardy. Heed this warning well. Oh, I see. The fan translation were causing it. I see. But it must be hard, like, then. It must be that something about it is a little difficult to program properly.
I always wonder with plots like this, like, what if the villain has some technical difficulties like the ones people in real life have all the time.
Yeah.
Like he does this whole collar thing and then he just won't like connect to his device or whatever.
Yeah, like all the
It just never
Bluetooth connection isn't working.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, I was watching a YouTube video from like the Saw video game like yesterday. And there's like stuff in there, it's like Saw has this whole thing where like 7 TVs turn on in a sequence to show different words of a sentence. Like that could very easily go wrong if you try to set that up.
Yeah, or like, what if in this situation it's like, okay, you guys did it, I'll save Hoshino now, and then it doesn't connect and you can't stop the poison, and the guy's like, no, I didn't mean for this, Hoshino.
Yeah. These guys are like, curses, he's so evil, there was never a chance. No, there was supposed to be. I fucked it up. Yeah. The stupid thing won't work.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have gotten this connector of Alibaba.
Amazing. Huh?
Wow.
笹塚の言う通りだ。
So rude.
事情を聞くのは解読してからでいい。
でも罠かもしれない。
榎本、二度は言わない。命がかかってるんだぞ。
Honestly, I don't know if I can trust these people. But at this rate, I don't want to die without even trying. I made up my mind and prepared to speak. If there's a way to stop it, please help me.
ああ、解除コードはここに入力するらしいな。
Either they use a lot of hair gel or their hair defies physics. Yep.
This anime logic, yeah.
Yeah. A man touched somewhere on the collar while supporting my body weight. Ugh. I thought I was ready, but I was still scared. Not knowing what was about to happen, I squeezed my eyes shut.
少しだけ我慢してくれ。大丈夫だから。
Hopefully. If this note didn't lie.
I was standing on the border between life and death. I had no idea whether or not I'd draw another breath. What a strange situation. I want to trust this man. The moment that thought formed in my mind... Ow! I let out a gasp as the color lanced me.
まさか解除失敗か。柳さん、どうなんだ。
When I heard their anxious voices, I worried that the darkness would claim me. But soon, I felt something change. Huh? I can move? When I slowly opened my eyes, the man holding me exhaled a sigh of relief.
どうやら解除は成功したようだな。
Yes, I can feel my body again.
なんだよ、紛らわしい。
Sorry. When I felt the pain in my neck, I thought I was done for, but it seems like I made it. Breathing had finally become easier, so I patted my chest in relief.
So that's the mean one.
Yep.
柳先輩、やっぱ最初から解毒剤が首輪に仕込まれてたってことですよね。
おそらくな。
Yanagi, was it? Thank you for saving my life. I was still woozy, but I managed to stand up and bow to him.
いや、俺だけの手柄じゃない。この二人もお前を探すために走り回ってるし。
I turned to look at the other two as Yanagi mentioned them. Thank you.
そんなことはどうでもいい。それより、犯人がなんでお前を選んだか、俺はそれが知りたいんだよ。
I'm sorry. I'd like to give you an answer, but I honestly have no
それ
idea.
で納得できるわけないだろう。お前は殺されかけたんだぞ。殺されるだけの理由があるんだよ。そう考えるのが普通だろう。
What? Why is he being so hostile towards me? I can't just accept that you guys showed up out of the blue either. It's not like I
That's his
automatically
character
trust
archetype.
you now. Yep. I'm grateful that you rescued me, but how exactly did you get that notice about my situation in the first place?
今はこっちの質問にだけ答えろ。お前と犯人の関係性がわからない限り、ほいほい情報を与えられないからな。
Well, the same could be said for me. I don't know your relationship to the criminals either, so I can't give you
Don't know who the fuck
intel.
you are, yeah.
おいタケル、言いたいことはわかるけど落ち着けって。って柳先輩、何してるんですか？
そこに銃が落ちてた。犯人のものか、あるいは。
Ah, that's mine.
そうか。この町で銃を持っていること自体は不思議じゃないが、この銃は警察が使用しているものだな。
It is. How did you know that?
俺が元警察官だからだ。
Huh? Yagi let out a little chuckle when he saw my jaw drop.
信じられないなら調べてもらって構わない。俺は警視庁捜査一課にいた柳愛知
I
だ。
mean, the jacket he's wearing is looking pretty
Yeah.
police-like. I don't know.
Yeah. A division of the Metropolitan Police Department that primarily deals with particularly heinous crimes. Each division is responsible for different types of crimes such as murder, arson, kidnapping, etc. Fun stuff.
Yay.
Investigation Section 1 at
The
HQ?
murder squad.
That would be very easy to verify, so it was unlikely that he was lying.
銃と一緒に警察手帳も落ちていたからな。これを見れば誰でもお前が警察官だとわかるだろう。
And why did you ask? Well, Yangi talked. He opened my police notebook.
いちか。
Excuse me?
ああ、悪い。
I took my gun and notebook back from Yanagi. I was going to ask about them once again, but my phone began to vibrate. Ah, pardon me. That's right. Mochita was
誰からだ？
my superior. I was attacked while we were supposed to meet up in response to a call.
ならここに長居しない方がいい。話の続きは場所を変えて仕切り直そう。
そうっすね。ここじゃ落ち着いて話聞けなさそうだし。
こいつを野放しにするのか？
そりゃ姿くらまされたら問題だけど、ここで捕まえて無理やり連れてってもこいつの周囲に怪しまれるだろ。
Wow, thanks, guys.
笹塚の懸念もわからなくはない。だが俺は彼女が怯えていたのが演技だとは思えなかった。彼女が何も知らない被害者なら真実を知りたいのは俺たちだけじゃない。
I nodded earnestly as he turned to me. I want to know what happened here too. I hate being kept in the dark like this.
笹塚、彼女は警察
Yeah, at least turn a light on.
逃げはしない。
Yeah. Like this church is pretty dark. These candles don't really do
これまで
much.
の失礼事件の被害者は漏れなく殺されてる。そんな中、こいつは助かる術を与えられた唯一の被害者だ。警察以前に疑うのは当然だろう。
でも柳先輩は疑ってないんすよね。
ああ、今のところは疑う根拠がない。
信じる根拠もない。
んじゃ今のところは話してもいいんじゃねえの？こいつがこのまま行方知らずになれば捜索がかかるし、そっちのが厄介じゃん。だったら
わかった。もういい。もし逃げても居場所を突き止めて洗いざらい吐かせりゃいい話だしな。
Like I said, I'm not running.
星野、後で改めて迎えをよこす。
Just going back to work, doing my job.
新宿署で待機してくれるか。署にいた方がまだ気も休まるだろう。
Yeah. Hearing the tinge of concern in Yanagi's voice made me feel a little better. Though the man they called Sasasuga remained thoroughly suspicious of me, I didn't feel any of that from Yanagi.
Good old good cop, bad cop routine.
Yep. The last one was Inomoto, right? I'm not sensing much from him. I became aware of someone observing me. What now? He's watching me.
予告状に首輪の存在は明るみにするなってあったけど、お前そんな賢そうに見えないし、口滑らせて勝手に自爆しそうだな。
Motherfucker.
Yeah. What?
さあさずか、そのくらいにしておけ。解毒はできたが、彼女の首輪が外れたわけじゃない。少しは気遣ってやれ。
ま、予告状にも首輪を通して監視してる的なこと書かれてたしな。
星野。
As I turned to respond, Yanagi took my muffler and proceeded to cover the collar by wrapping the muffler around my neck.
今はまだ犯人の目的がわからない。署内でも首輪は隠した方がいい。
Oh yeah. When you go to bed and you don't brush it and you wake up and it's all crazy. I've had that happen before as well.
Yeah, my hair goes crazy too. But just not in a cool anime way, unfortunately.
Yeah. Understood.
じゃあ、俺たちは先に行く。犯人が近辺に潜んでいる可能性もあるからな。お前も早く上司と合流しろ。
Yes. After I watched the three of them leave, I looked at my phone. Wachita's been calling me repeatedly. Checking the time, I saw that 2 hours had passed. Yeah.
Of course he has. Yeah.
Wachita.
お前今までどこにいたんだ?
Sorry, I had to take a shit.
Yeah.
事件か何かに巻き込まれたかと思ったんだぞ。
I'm sorry I made you worry.
真面目なやつだし、安易に連絡を怠るようなことはしない。何かあったんじゃないのか?
I'm pretty sure this is related to X Day, so I should probably report what happened. But I don't know what'll happen if I talk. Racked with indecision, I decide to... I think this is...
Ooh, a decision.
Or wait, actually, I might be able to save at the decision.
Say everything and then immediately die.
Yeah. Nah, I think it's just an instant game over if we do that, so we shouldn't report it. Don't report it. Yeah.
It's good they give you the option even if it's not a real option.
Yeah.
Because if they don't, then you'll be annoyed that there's no option.
Yeah. Basically, Code Realize has a similar thing at the start of its game where you can also choose to just, like, not do the obvious thing. Like, you can choose to just not join up with Lupin at the beginning of Code Realize, and it just leads to, like, an ending right at the start. Like, oh, well,
yeah, I think
womp
that's fine. Yeah. It's like the I don't want to play the game button.
Yeah. Like,
Oh, poor Mochida.
Yeah. Still haven't learned anything.
Got no fucking clue what's going on and you just die. Yeah.
こちらもむやみに手をかけたくはないので。あなたも身近な人間や大切な人を失うのは悲しいでしょう。
They might still be listening, so I shouldn't speak carelessly. They said they'd be observing through the collar. Actually, on the way to Shinjuku Garden, I came across a male student using a dog for target practice.
最近そういったやつも減ってきたと思っていたが、完全になくなりはしないか。
When the weapons ban was lifted, all the young people wanted to try out their weapons, in spite of the coded tracking system. Mochida knew about this happening, so it seemed like he believed me.
それで、その男子学生はどうしたんだ? 話して分かってくれたのか?
Oh, he shot me and I died.
Yeah, you're talking to my ghost now. It seemed like he had some pent-up stress related to his home life. I got his parents involved and talked it out. It seemed like he understood he was wrong. Just to be safe, I think I should swing Yeah, I should swing by and check on them for a few days.
それがいい。
This is probably something that has happened to her before, so that makes it an easy lie, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah.
八方さえしてなければまだ引き返せる。道を踏み外そうとしてる若者をお前は救ったんだ。よくやったな。
Getting praised for something that's a lie, that will feel
Yeah,
terrible.
yeah. That's not right at all. You were trying to reach me for a long time, Mochida. I apologize for making you worry. Really, there's no excuse for it. Stifling my deep guilt, I bowed my head.
お前に何もなかったならいいんだ。俺も到着がだいぶ遅れたしな。
Huh, really?
ああ、なんでかパトカーの鍵が見つからなくてな。
Well,
Mochida. I was honestly a little shocked to realize how easy it was to imagine this scenario.
違うぞ。俺の管理に問題はなかった。はずだ。
Uh-huh. Mochida was kind of clumsy, so it wasn't that unusual for him to lose things. While I was caught up in this mess, he was trying to find his keys. The thought just made me exhausted.
これでも大急ぎで来たんだぞ。けどな、俺が着いた時には周囲に不審人物はいなかった。ひょっとしたら、
so
揉めてるって通
unprofessional.
報をいたずらになったのかもしれないな。
Yeah, or maybe something happened and you arrived too late.
Yeah, that's true.
念には念を入れて、ここら一帯をパトロールしてから帰ろう。お前が見つけたみたいに、飛行に走ろうとしてる若者がいるかもしれないしな。
Yes, sir. After that, we drove around for a while in Mochida's patrol car. We didn't see any fleeing youths around, nor did we discover anyone or anything that seemed to be related to X Day.
Just patrolling around, hunting youth.
Yep. Back at the station, I went to file a report. I picked up a pen and tried putting it into paper, but my hand wouldn't move. Working in the SRCPO, listening to citizens, writing reports, that was my daily life. Yeah, they saw some fleeing adults. But the X-Day cases, even in this office, I've never had direct contact with them. We've only provided info to investigations. Still, I raised my hand to feel my neck. It really happened. Nothing felt wrong with my body anymore, but the collar put the fear of death into me. According to those criminals...
Fear of God.
Yeah. They're monitoring me right now. A small misstep could cost me my life. The thought made my hands tremble. I can't think that way. They could suspect that something's happened. I need to act normal. I just have to do what I always do. Just as
You should really call in sick.
Yeah, just as I psyched myself up, I suddenly remembered that voice.
大丈夫だ。絶対に助ける。
It'll be alright, he said. His strong voice repeated in my head. Right. He's Eiji Yanagi, a former cop. I should verify his story. I turned on the monitor to my PC and clicked the icon to access the database restricted to police personnel. Detailed information will be classified, but I can find out where he was assigned. I selected the search field and typed in Yanagi Eiji and... Wah!
Naughty.
I turned around in a panic. Saiki was standing right there. Ah, Saiki! I quickly moved my mouse and frantically closed the search page. You're still at work?
なんだよ、いたらいけないのか？さっき通報があってさ、俺はそっちに借り出されてたんだよ。
Ah, that's right. I remember that Mochida mentioned that.
おかげで新しく報告書を書かなきゃでさ、こんな時間まで残業してたってわけ。
Really? Long day, huh?
っていうか、お前こそまだいたんだな。もうとっくに上がったと思ってたけど。
I got caught up in something too, but it wasn't anything of import. I need to write a report on what happened, so I came back to the station. Exactly, life's meaning.
お互い災難だな。なんか今日はやたらと通報あったし。おっと、邪魔して悪い。お前の姿が見えたからつい声かけちゃってさ。
You aren't bothering me at all. You actually cheered me up a bit. Mochida, Saiki, they're the same constant, reliable people that they've always been. Now that I'm in this crazy situation, I'm especially glad that those two are always there for me.
なんだよ、嬉しいこと言ってくれるじゃん。でもさ、お前は女だし、残業が辛かったら持田さんに直訴した方がいいぞ。
No, I don't think I need
言って
to.
みるだけただだろ。持田さん、ああ見えて頼りになるしさ。それに、お前かなり疲れてるみたいだし。
Eh?
同期の目をごまかせると思うなよ。さては、夕飯食ってないな。
I had a light meal.
じゃあ足りなかったんだ。激務をこなすためには体が資本だぞ。食えるときにちゃんと食っておかないと。
Psyche, I'm not a pig like you.
Wow!
ってなんだよ、失礼なやつだな。俺そんなに太ってないだろ。
I may be a police officer, but I'm not a pig. Psyche appraised his belly fat level while grousing at me.
笑うなよな。仕事上どうしても生活不規則になるだろ。これでも体重とか結構気にしてんだから。
Sure, sure. And when you get fat, I'll be a good friend and let you know.
お前が太った時もズバリ言うからな。覚悟しとけよ。
After leveling that parting shot, Sayaki jogged off. Yeah, it's like these characters, I wish you could date them so bad. I could still laugh while talking to Sayaki. Classmates' bonds are powerful. Nothing had changed, but I felt like I could at least look ahead now. I turned back to my workstation and entered Yanagi IG once again. There he is. He apparently started in a local... Yeah, he's a serial killer. He started in
He was executed 3 years ago.
Oh, snap. I was talking to his ghost. Local jurisdiction was assigned to Headquarters Investigation Section 1 4 years ago. Oh, what? Jurisdiction is the area that a certain public safety division is in charge of. In this case, it refers to the Shinjuku's Department Management of the Shinjuku's District. This term is usually used by people of the Metropolitan Police Department who were dispatched here. Amazing. So he did work in Investigation Section 1, but he quit the force this year. He's 28. He should have had a long career ahead. None of the available information on him indicated that any problems had come up. He seemed like the most collected of the three, like someone you could count on. Frankly speaking, I didn't want to believe he was involved in anything related to X-Day. But all the X-Day incidents so far had been large events using video sharing sites. When an X-Day incident occurs, Adonis declares their handiwork on video sharing sites. The police filed a request for information on the uploads, but it appears Adonis obscured their IP well. Would they give an advance notice to specific people? I still don't know why they targeted me. So Sasazuka's suspicions about me aren't baseless. There was just too much I didn't know. There's only so much I can learn on my own. I need to talk to Yanagi and the others. I didn't know when Yanagi's group would get me, so I texted my little brother to say I might have to stay at the station overnight. Yeah, we have a little brother. After I turned my report into Mochida, I began drowsily nodding off at my desk.
お迎えに上がりました。囚われのお姫様。いや、眠そうだから眠り姫かな。
Huh? Here's another love interest. I looked in the direction of the voice and gazed upon a man in a white coat.
Dr. McDreamy.
Yeah. You are?
ごめんごめん。自己紹介が先だったよね。
What a way to introduce yourself.
警視庁の科学捜査研究所所属。今は新宿署で機動捜査支援係を担当しています。白石景之です。
Oh, this is one of your two faves, Sarah? Heck yeah. Has he got horns? Yeah, he does. Or like little cat ears, basically.
I was making notes about people's voices, but they all have the like soft, breathy Bishonen voice.
Heck yeah, you love to see it.
Of course, there's differences between them, but it's like it is
Yeah.
definitely an overarching theme.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's cat ear clips, yeah. But yeah, there's definitely multiple, like, Anya adjacent boys as, like, the love
Because
interest. Yeah. And, Sasazuka is one of the routes that I really liked. Shirashi is another one. And,
Of course, you'd be into the guy who's an asshole to you.
yeah,
at the
yeah.
start.
Yeah. And then there's one other guy that we haven't met yet. The last love interest that we have that will be meeting.
よろしくね。
Oh, hello. Ichika Hoshino, Special Regions Crime Prevention Local Office.
ああ、そうそう、そんな名前だった。
I'll never understand anime. Yeah, I know, Sarah. He's so good. He is great. But yeah, we'll meet him soon. But yeah, I would say the guy that Sarah's talking about that we haven't met yet and Sasazuka are like my two faves out of the love interests. Like I can't decide between one or the other. They're kind of like
Nice.
same level.
Yeah,
Then this guy would probably be right after them. Then Yanagi, then Inamoto. Like that's the level I would go for. But as I also said before, my ultimate fave is not a love interest.
Rip.
Big sad. But oh well, at least we have some pretty good options. So he's one of them. Saiki told me once before that the Field Operations Support Team, aka Field Support, was full of eccentrics. This group is officially called the Field Operations Support Team and was created in the wake of X-Day incidents. Forensic analysis of the X-Day coins falls under their purview. Those hair clips, that cat tie pin. He does look rather odd. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Sarah. That tends to happen a lot with the poster boy routes. That is true. Because they put all the plot onto that route, and so there isn't as much relationship development because of that. Big sad. Though, and that's why a lot of times in a lot of these games, the true route isn't my favorite route. With some exceptions. Like, I do love Lupin in Code Realize, so he's definitely my favorite in that. Akaza and Oli Soy? I don't know that one, Sarah.
An otome game that you don't know. Two of them
Yeah,
know.
two of them. Sarah knows more than me, oh snap. Yeah, the more obscure otomes for me, I don't really play a lot of the... Oh, Olympia Soiree! I see.
I do know it.
I do know, I just didn't know... I didn't know the shorthand for it. I tried playing it, and then I never finished it, because I didn't really like it all that much, sadly.
Rip.
But yeah, like the more obscure ones, I don't really do a lot of the ones that are the fan translated ones unless they're like easy to download. But I do play a lot of like indie ones that are on like itch.io and other places. I've played a lot of those, and there's some pretty good ones. Some that we've even played on here, like Ebon Light, top tier one.
Yes, that was good.
Yeah, I also couldn't really get through that one either, Sarah. I'm like really picky with my otome games. There's only like some that I get all the way through. A lot of them I end up dropping somewhat into it. Why is field support coming to talk to SRCPO? I don't think there's anything here for field support to pick up.
言ったでしょ。俺は君を迎えに来たんだよ。
Huh?
It's wrong to pick up girls.
あら、じゃあ奥の手を使っちゃおうかな。
Titan Arum. I have not heard of that one. I do know for a fact.
10 days.
Yeah, there are some really good Game Jam ones, definitely. Oh, it's a plant. I gotta type in game. Let's see. Ooh. Yeah, this looks pretty cool. I'd be interested in trying this one out. Heck yeah. Yeah, his name means that King Corpse Flower thing. Ah, I see, I see.
Ah, that one.
Interessante. Shirashi then mouthed a word at me without making a sound. Caller. My mind came to an immediate halt.
それ以上はダメ。君、死にたいの？
お静かに。出ないと死にますよ。
Reminded of the voice from before, I started trembling.
震えちゃってかわいいな。でも安心して。俺が知っても君は死なないから。俺の役目はね、君を柳くんたちの隠れ家へ連れて行ってあげることなんだ。
Finally, I understood what Yanagi meant when he said they'd come and get me. So there's more than 3 of them, and they have somebody in the station working with them?
にしても君もついてないね。いきなり非日常に放り込まれちゃって。いつどんなタイミングで死が訪れるかわからないってどんな気分？ね、俺に教えてよ。
Dude, boundaries.
Yeah, like what? The man flashed a pretty smile, but I sensed something unfathomable from him. Is that really something someone would ask, knowing the situation I'm in? My speechlessness only seemed to cause Shirashi's grin to widen.
教えてくれないんだ。
Mad scientist character.
Yeah, basically. Which is a cool archetype. Not a fave of mine, but definitely an interesting one. Which is why he's not like my top faves of the routes.
Gotcha.
Interesting. That's the last thing I'd call
あ、
this.
そうなの？でもさ、ものは考えようだよ。死に直面する機会なんて普通に生きてたらめったにないからね。だからさ、俺、君にすっごく興味があるんだよね。どこかに閉じ込めて一日中観察。
Yeah, he's like going full on
Okay,
in
weirdo.
there. That was supposed to be a joke, right?
You're lucky you're so pretty, or you wouldn't get away with it.
Yeah, if you didn't look like a pretty boy, we would punch you into Antarctica. With a
Hello,
suggestive...
HR.
Yeah, hello, HR. With a suggestive smile, he finally let go of my finger.
じゃあ、一緒に柳くんのところに行こうか。準備ができたら機動操作支援係まで来てね。
Without waiting for my response, Shirashi left. What in the world was that? As I started to think, I touched my neck. I won't solve anything by sitting here and thinking. I need to meet Yanagi's group. I got ready to leave and proceeded to head over to the door with a plate that read Field Operation Support. I took a deep breath and knocked.
Hi.
Hi.
A female voice answered.
お待たせしました。何か？
Good evening. I'm Ishika Hoshino from the Special Regions Crime Prevention Office.
独房の方が訪ねていらっしゃるとは珍しいですね。私は白石主任の世話をしております。
Is this the character that makes you wish there was a same-sex option for Brad?
Not this character. There's another character that we'll meet soon.
There's always one.
Yeah, there's always one where you're kind of like, I wish that this was a route, and it's so sad that they don't do it. You know, it's like it should be an option. It should be an option in every otome game to at least have one female route, guys. Guys.
God, in Hakuoki especially.
Yeah,
also, like,
that was
come
so.
on.
Yeah, that one was so hard. Yeah, as Sarah said, there's another lady that's like absolute like route material that they just don't do, and it's like, oh, we'll meet her soon. Director, that guy's actually a big shot. Oh, I have business with Mr. Shirashi. Is he in?
主任ですね。少々お待ちください。
Mukai disappeared into the room and then.
主任、お客様です。お待たせしては失礼ですので、今すぐにこちらに来てください。
Wow.
失礼なのは君だよ。誰が誰の世話をしてるって？
Yeah, it's so annoying, Sarah. I'm like, what's wrong with having some female routes? What? What? That's awful. That's disgusting. I hate that. What?
People are weird.
People are so weird.
Just don't take the route if you don't want to.
Yeah, like if you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. But I guess the idea is a lot of people, like when they play these games, they feel like they need to go through all of it. Like they have to play every single route. And I'm like, just play the route that you want, unless you're like forced to like play to get to the true ending. Just play the route that you want and call it a day. That's what I do.
I mean, I can sort of get it maybe if it's like Baldur's Gate 3 where everyone is jumping into your pants no matter what you say.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's
But even
like,
then, it's
yeah.
like you can just say like, nah, I'm not interested, and then the game goes on. Like,
Yeah, yeah. It's so
Who
weird that
cares?
there's like, I didn't even know that there's like whole communities of people like that. That's crazy.
はいはい。今は
People
そういう
get
ことにし
crazy
てい
about
た
their
だけ
hobbies.
ど。
Yeah.
それじゃあ行こうか。向井さん、お疲れ様。
お疲れ様です。
Excuse us. While we walked together, Shirachi simply looked forward silently. We hadn't known each other very long, so we didn't have much to discuss. But the awkwardness on top of the situation was getting agonizing, so I tried to initiate small talk with him. Heart Fragments wasn't allowed to announce their games released on the Otome Reddit because the ratio of male to female love interest and the mod was all, oh well, if the amounts changed, when the female love interests weren't even out yet, claimed it was a miscommunication. The Reddit requires at least one more male love interest over female other. What the frick? What the?
In order for it to count as an otome game, I guess.
That's stupid. That's stupid. That's stupid. The definition for an otome game is that it's made for women.
Yeah.
Like if the audience is women, it's an otome game. It doesn't have to have romance to be an otome game. And if it does have romance, as long as the romance is directed towards women, it's an otome game. Who the gender of your love interest should not matter on whether it's an otome game or not. This is making me actually mad. What the heck? Time to start my
Congratulations, you've
own.
managed to piss off Anya.
Yeah, time for me to start my own otome subreddit.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'll
No, just stay off of Reddit altogether,
Yeah,
really.
true.
I've been starting to use it a bit more after I
Yeah.
just gotten myself off of it to stop
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, I don't really use it at all except to like see like a couple posts here and there, and that's it. Because
Yeah, I
people
mean,
on
the best
Reddit
way
are
to use it is
crazy.
to subscribe to like a couple of communities and look at only
Yeah.
that. And that's fine, I guess.
Yeah.
But once you start scrolling the homepage, you're doomed.
Yeah, it's like just people on Reddit are so crazy, and it's not my kind of crazy. Like, Tumblr is also crazy, but it's like my kind of crazy. Like a crazy that I enjoy and have fun with, rather than Reddit being a crazy that just makes me upset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I the asshole's way too fun?
Yeah. Yeah, those are the only reasons
People
to
are
be
insane,
on Reddit. Yeah.
Apparently, there's also Am I the Devil, which is basically like it just collects Am I the Asshole posts from people who are very obviously the asshole.
Yeah.
Just have no self-awareness about that.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, a lot of those posts have basically become like just people making them up, though.
Oh yeah, for
fun.
sure.
But
And
it's
it only
still
got
fun.
worse with AI, but it's still fun.
Yeah, it's still fun to.
Sometimes it's fun to just like pretend it's real and then argue from that point.
Yeah, and also
As long as they're well written.
Like I watch a series. There's a person that I like on YouTube known as Dylan Is Not in Trouble, and like his side channel Ooga Booga. And I watch him and also John
You
Wolf.
can't say that, Sarah, on that subreddit.
Yeah. Yeah. The two what is it? Like both him and John Wolf have like done like whole videos on like Am I the Asshole posts. And even though
Northern Lion also did that.
Yeah.
React Court. Yeah.
And even though like some of them, they probably aren't real, it's still, I don't know.
Still
like,
fun to talk about them as a
still,
hypothetical.
Yeah, it's still fun to like go through it and talk about it. And also like in some ways kind of reaffirms like some things about like the person that I'm watching as well. Like I'm like, okay, yeah. Like,
Yeah, learn about them too.
Yeah.
Sometimes things you didn't want to know. But...
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, at least I deleted my Reddit account, so that's like I'm still reading it too much, but now at least I can't get locked into arguments and stuff. That helps a lot already.
Yep, it's true.
There's sometimes where I just click reply and I'm like, oh wait, I don't have an account.
Yeah.
Probably for the best.
Yep.
I was about to go off. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like sometimes it's best just to leave things alone, leave things be.
Yeah, but with these Am I the Asshole posts, like, so long as they're not, like, so ridiculous that it's obvious that they're fake, then it's... You can be like, even if this is made up, it probably still happened to someone at some point. Somewhere.
Yeah,
You
yeah. And it's still, like, interesting to talk about.
Yeah. It's like something that could definitely happen, and then it's good enough.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Sarah, I also kind of just use it for, like, some posts about video games and things like that, or Am I the Asshole, and that's, like, it as well. I don't really look much through it, because most of the time it just makes me mad.
Yeah, I used to read 2X chromosomes a lot, and that made me really sad.
Yeah.
It's just...
Yeah.
Tough. Societal problems.
Yeah. It's sad. There are too many crazy people on there. Not in a good way.
Yeah, and just like hundreds and hundreds of posts of like, oh, something terrible happened to me. It just makes you feel really bad about the state of humanity.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. Very, very true. So Miss Mukai called you director back at the station.
ただの階級だよ。ほら、警察官にもあるでしょ。巡査部長警部補ってさ。
The people in the crime lab work for the police, but they aren't police officers. So that didn't explain how Shirashi had become a director. I might have been impolite to Shirashi when he came to see me. I know he was impolite. He was crossing the boundaries as our CPO.
Yeah, but you know, rank and social status and all that. Very important there.
Yeah, but he was acting really weird too.
He was being pretty sus.
Yeah. It's nothing. No, not at all.
Maybe
I was
just make movies.
surprised. Oh, whoops.
俺みたいにうさんくさいやつ全然主任に見えないってことだね。
Exactly.
Yeah. I never said that. I thought it,
I
but I
just
never
thought
said
it, yeah. I was being polite.
Human cat don't care, exactly.
そこまでってことは少なからず思ってはいたんだ。ああ、そうか、そうなんだ。君って見た目で人を判断するんだね。ああ、俺もそうだし、悪いことじゃないよ。
I mean, most people do.
Yeah, I tried
If
to
they're
lie
honest.
to him, but all I did was dig my own grave. I wish he wasn't so critical of other people, too. When I heard he was a director, I expected more from him, so I was a little disappointed. Before long, we reached an intersection a good distance from the police station. When we paused to wait for the signal, I heard a heavy sigh next to me.
できることなら二人っきりで君をもっと観察したかったんだけどな。
Study! Something felt
What's
off
there to
about
study?
him the moment we met, and I finally realized that I was like an interesting lab subject to him.
No shit.
He's obviously enjoying this, while my life hangs in the balance. Determined not to be jerked around, I changed the subject. We were already outside of Shinjuku Station, so I should be able to ask about the others. Hey.
ここで柳くんたちとの関係を聞かれても何も答えないからね。
What? I was stunned that I was denied so
Nani?
abruptly.
考えを読まれて驚いてる。
That's what these cat ears are for. They're
How?
for reading your mind.
Yeah, it's like Anya from Spy X Family. How did you know?
それが俺の仕事だからだよ。観察してその人間の考えや行動を分析するんだ。
You're a profiler?
そう。犯行の手口や統計学から犯人像を割り出してその心理を推論する。つまりプロファイリングするっていう仕事でね。この数年の間にプロファイラーも事件の捜査に加われるようになったものの。
A criminal psychology analyst that examines the state of the crime scene, evidence, and other information to try to formulate the moments of the perpetrator.
捜査一課の人が目を光らせてるからあんまり好き勝手できないし。
Shirashi sighed, disappointment on his face.
ま、ちょうどいいのかもしれないな。俺はブレーキをかけてもらわないと踏み込みすぎちゃうからね。
Slightly frightened by Shirashi's cheerful tone, I revisited to the topic. When you figured out what I was thinking, did you analyze
ま
me?
だそんなに分析ってほどのことはしてないよ。君ってわかりやすいし。
That's not
Such a mean
true.
thing
そん
to
な
say.
ことあるって。君はさっきから俺のことばかり気にして、そのくせなかなか口を開こうとしなかった。知り合って間もない相手と距離を縮めようと考えを巡らせていたみたいだったけど、大抵そういった場合口をつくのは当たり障りのない話題だ。同じ部署なら仕事の話が触れるけど君とは部署が違う。あと残されてるのはこういう関係。この状況下で君が俺と柳くんたちの関係性に興味を持たないわけがない。そして俺との沈黙も解消される。まさに願ったり叶ったりな展開だね。ま、柳くんたちと合流するまでは詳しい話をするつもりはないけど。
Actually, I was gonna just ask if you, if it's okay if I grab some coffee along the way. I'm pretty tired.
Yeah.
Just let him do that whole rant and then be like, no, you're completely wrong.
Yeah, it would be great. Shirashi had completely unraveled my exact thought process. It kind of feels like he's making a fool out of me.
そんなにムスッとした顔しないで。他人を分析するのは職業病みたいなものなんだ。それに君のそのあけすけなまでの分かりやすさには好感が持てるよ。
That can't be a compliment.
そんなことないよ。バカな子ほど可愛いって言うしね。
Great.
I blew past fear and was just astonished now at how thoroughly he could read my thoughts. The light changed and Shirashi walked
Damn,
away.
he figured me out. He knows I'm stupid.
Yeah, I intentionally fell behind, allowing a bit of distance between us as we walked.
Well, that was a pretty easy analysis. I mean, you are a cop.
Too real. After that, we arrived at a corner that was lined with old buildings. This area was lively earlier, but was now utterly devoid of foot traffic and surrounded in ominous darkness.
着いたよ。
Shirashi pointed to a building with shuttered windows on the first floor.
このビルの5階で柳くんたちが君の到着を首を長くして待ってる。
I don't expect much of a welcome.
あ、今嘘くさいって思ったでしょ。傷つくな。
Eh? No, I didn't.
はい、嘘。まあいいけど。入る前に一つだけ言う。
What is it?
Motherfucker.
What could be now? Seeing my obvious apprehension, Shirashi
こ
chuckled.
こからは俺を上の人間だと思わなくていいから。
Meaning?
ここでの俺は警察職員じゃなくて柳くんたちと同じ立場になるってことだよ。
I see.
それじゃ入ろうか。
Oh, wait! I darted after Shirashi, who had suddenly entered the building. Then I noticed the tenant's nameplate. 5th floor detective agency?
ああ、その表札は名前だけだから気にしないで。それより早くしないと置いてっちゃうよ。
Yes! I hurriedly ran up the stairs after Shirashi in a panic. And then... I finally set foot into my destination for the evening.
来たな。好きなところに座ってくれ。
Okay. In the room were the 3 men I met at Shinjuku Garden along with Shirashi. Their expressions were all different, but I felt that they were all sizing me up. I couldn't help but feel unwelcome. You could cut the tension with a knife. Pardon me. At a loss for what to do, I took a seat on the sofa nearest me and watched Yanagi. The mood seemed a bit chillier than it was during our first encounter. This atmosphere is so heavy. Just then, Shirashi emerged from behind a partition with a cup of coffee. He set it down in front of me, and then slowly took a seat next to Yanagi on the arm of the sofa.
大丈夫だよ。みんな見た目はあれだけど、中身は善良だから。
I hope that's true.
さっさと話して終わりにするぞ。これ以上時間割かれたくないからな。
Sasazuka coldly prodded me to speak without even glancing up from the computer that he was using.
お前だって早く帰りたいだろ。
True, but...
まあまあ、そんなツンケンしたところで何もいいことはないよ。せっかく第三者の人目に触れないところに来たんだし、ここは彼女の首輪をじっくり鑑賞するべきじゃないかな。
白石さん、それが目当てでおとなしくこいつを連れてきたんじゃ。
そうだけど、何か問題ある？
I knew he was just enjoying this. My gloomy mood abruptly turned to anger. I didn't have the luxury of being toyed with right now, and I was not in the mood. I couldn't just simply trust people who would let Shirashi behave like this. I opened my mouth to vent my roiling indignation.
ひとまず自己紹介でもしておくか。これから協力して動いていくことになるかもしれないからな。
The shock from both the statement and being interrupted made my eyes go wide. Working together? What do you mean? Without answering my question, Yagi simply laid a sheet of paper on the table. When I picked it up, I saw it was written with the same red lettering as the earlier note. We have seen that you possess the skill to assist Ichika Hoshino. She is one of our sympathizers and a woman with the potential to inherit our will, so treat her with courtesy. Should any harm come to her, we will have no choice but to kill you all.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, what? calling me a sympathizer and threatening them? I was racked with shock, fear, and confusion. My hands trembled, but I kept reading. The note continued. Nonetheless, we bear no ill will towards your group. On the contrary, we would prefer to join hands. You who question the form of righteousness that the police cling to would surely find our concept of justice more agreeable. Of course, we do not expect you to be persuaded by mere words. So, please try to grasp the truth of the X-Day incidents. Discover our true intentions. You have until midnight on January 1st. We'll be watching you via Ichika Hoshino. What on earth do these people want? Joining hands. Does that mean these people are potentially murderers too? And there's not a word about the collar. They said they'd be watching through me. So I'm going to be wearing it forever? Disturbed, I put down the letter. Sasuzuka spoke instantly as if he were waiting for me.
これで今回のことを仕組んだ人間とお前がつながってる可能性が高くなったな。
What? Don't go assuming that on your own. I raised my voice at him without thinking. But I hadn't joined the X-Day thugs at all, so I couldn't let unchecked accusations stand.
嘘をついているようには見えないね。
つってもそれ白石さんの主観だし、本当のところはわからないんだ。
They didn't. They really translated it like that.
Yeah.
It's just like your opinion, man. They couldn't resist.
Yeah.
Oh.
あれ、珍しいな。榎本くんが俺を否定するなんてさ。
いや白石さんにケチつけたんじゃないですから。
Oh my god, yeah, Sarah. Sweet Fuse in general is just a train wreck.
Oh no.
嘘を見抜かせない
Did
よ
they
うにと
translate it to
か
Gigolo
そ
or
ういうこと
something?
できる人間もいるし。
Or is it not
他
that
人の
bad?
本質なんてわからないもんだ。
Scored. Okay. Okay, pretty much then, yeah.
Yeah, amazing.
Why not just keep it a toast? It's already an English word.
Hello? 可能性の話はいくらでもできる。まずは
Anya?
彼女の話を聞いてからだ。
What?
Yeah.
Yeah? Did something happen?
No, you just stopped reading the text.
Oh yeah,
That
oh
was
my
good.
god, I can't believe I just started letting it go without saying anything.
I thought you were muted or something.
Yeah, no, I just got invested all of a sudden.
星野、
Oh,
あの
no,
時
no,
新
no.
事件で起こったことを詳しく
Yeah, that's pretty bad. It's definitely misrepresenting what a host club is.
Oh my god. Yes. They mentioned justice in this letter. When the criminals spoke to me through the collar, they were fixated on justice too. When the collar was put on me, the criminals spoke to me for a little bit. It felt like I was being interrogated as I stated I had no clue why I was targeted. I didn't understand the criminals' claims, and as a police officer, that I'd done no wrong.
お前
Of
の言い
course,
分は分か
police
った
can do no wrong.
Nah.
こっちとしてもお前と犯人がつながってる証拠を掴んだわけじゃない。巻き込まれただけなら放っておくつもりもない。柳先輩、榎本、たとえ彼女がスパイだったとして俺たちは犯人側に知られて困るような情報をつかめてるか。それは疑うのはいつでもできる。だが信じないと始まらない。X デイ事件を追うのも大事だが、その首輪について調べるべきだ。星野、お前の本意じゃないとしても犯人につながる大事な手がかりだからな。
ま、利用できるなら使うべきだな。
それに首輪をどうにかしないことにはお前も落ち着かないだろう。
That's true. He's actually concerned for my safety. Even though the collar and its ties to the culprits was what they were interested in, It was still very heartening to hear him actually worry about my well-being. But if you're going to examine the collar...
言い忘れていましたが
It would be so easy to actually diffuse the collar like that.
Nah.
Because you just have to slide like a piece of metal between the part where the needle comes out of and your neck. Then
Yeah.
you're safe.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier than an explosive collar.
Yeah. A sudden voice made itself known and directed everyone's attention to my collar.
首輪を外そうとしても無駄です無理に外そうとすれば彼女の命は保証で
But
き
yeah,
ま
then
せん
they might show up and just shoot you, so
Yeah.
that's the other side of it.
Yeah.
それも我々に不利益ありと知れば同じ結末に至りますそれより X デー事件を調べてください真実を知ればきっとあなたたちは今の正義を貫けなくなるそれでも我々の志に反するのが正しいと思えるかどうか見定めさせてもらいます
今の犯人からだよないわゆる警告ってやつかわざわざ俺たちが集まったところでかずいぶん自己顕示欲が強いみたいだね星野大丈夫か
Yes, sorry. The criminals are monitoring everything about me through the collar. It was the first time they'd contacted me since I was paralyzed. It looks like they wanted everyone to be sure that they're always watching. I started to feel that this was hopeless, and I wrung my hands in my lap.
ま手を取り合いたいなんて言われても願い下げだっつうのやめたとはいえ俺たちだって警察の一員だったんだぜ
I looked up. All of you were police? I did verify that Yanagi was a former officer. Yamamoto and Sazuzuka, were you two also police officers?
I dropped out of the academy, but yeah.
そのアホな口縫い付けてこい
Yeah, even if they trust her, she's still wearing a microphone. So
Yeah.
have to watch what they say.
So it's true then? When I pressed him on it, Yamamoto looked to Yanagi in a plea for support.
隠すことでもないだろう調べようと思えばすぐ分かることだまあそれと物はついでだ二人とも星野に自己紹介しておけ何にしろ彼女との接点はこれから増えることになるだろうからなわかりました
Yamamoto quietly cleared his throat. Then he turned to me and made eye contact. He took a deep breath.
耳かっぽしてよく聞きな元第二機動捜査隊所属かの前田刑事に勝るとも劣らねえ歌舞伎者
Yeah, okay, he's totally Chunibyo.
Yeah. The Field Operations Unit is the enforcement arm of the Metropolitan Police Department and regional police offices. They are mainly in charge of important cases. Mineo Inomoto was a member of the field ops team too.
What a doofus.
Kabukimono were flamboyant, flashy samurai prevalent during the end of the Warring States period to the early Edo period, 1596 to 1643. They were known for their ostentatious manners and style.
捕らえた犯人は数知れず一気当選百花繚乱のいぶし銀
Oh my god, dude. This is embarrassing. The fans. Sound.
この俺のことやよく覚えておきな新人ちゃん
Oh my god.
It's so good.
I think this is his strategy. He's trying to make the X-Day people die of embarrassment while they're listening to this. Oh my god.
That was amazing.
Good lord, he's so pleased with himself.
Why all the kabuki mannerisms? Oh, he did say he's a kabuki mono.
まともに相手しないでいいよ。彼は天然っていうか神聖っていうか俺的には遠くから眺めるのがおすすめだね。
Right.
星野、気にしなくていい。あれは榎本なりの照れ隠しだからな。不器用なやつなんだ。
バカの極みとも言うけどな。
決まった。これ以上なく決まったぜ。じゃあ次、タケルの番だな。
This guy's hair, like, because it's transparent over his eye, it makes his whole hair look like it's ghostly or something,
Yeah.
or made of jelly.
The Cybercrimes Division is a part of the Safety Department of the Metropolitan Police Department that deals with high-tech crimes such as illegal systems access and information technology crimes.
Oh, that's why he doesn't have social skills.
Yeah. He's a nerd!
Fucking nerd. He's a redditor, that's why. That's why he's such an apple.
Am I the asshole for being mean to a girl who almost died last night? Inamoto's introduction was so dramatic that this feels somewhat lacking. Thinking back to what I'd overhear in the office, I remembered hearing about cybercrime prevention a few times. If I recall correctly, that division was quite difficult to get into. His skills must be the real deal if he got in at his age. Anyway, it couldn't be a coincidence that everyone here was related to the police. Is the reason you all quit the force because you questioned the righteousness of the police like the letter mentioned? I knew I was prying, but I figured I might as well take a shot. Sasasuka and Inamoto averted their eyes. Maybe they wouldn't want to talk about it. Only Yanagi looked me in the eyes and answered my question.
それぞれ思うところがあってやめたのは確かだ。俺は
The only normal adult in the group.
Yeah, basically. The true route is the one normal guy.
The only person who actually, like, goes outside.
Yeah, the only person who touches grass. I see. They obviously all had their own baggage. That was why all these fellow ex-officers had gravitated to each other to pursue the case. I could understand that much.
ねえ、そこの3人はともかくさ、この手を取り合いたいって中に俺も含む。
Unfortunately, he's disqualified.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, sadly Yanagi is a smoker. It is kind of like a downgrade there. Shirashi spoke flippantly while waving the note around as if to break the tense mood.
Yes, in like media it looks kinda cool, but in real life it's a huge turnoff.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Anytime, like, some people will make fan art of being like, oh, the character's smoking and stuff, and I'm like, I would rather not, because I hate the smell of smoke. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
I don't want to smell smoke. If you're smoking, get out of here. I don't want it. But I understand.
And yes, even if you put it out, I can still smell it on you 3 hours later.
Yep, it's true. And also, like, I get why they're doing it here, though, because I think Yanagi is meant to be, like, the archetypal, like, like,
detective,
noir detective kind of character.
He's the gritty one.
Yeah. Sure, no otome man can lock MC in a cage for her own safety. I'm A-okay with that. But I draw the line at smoking.
Oh, no.
It's like you get locked in a cage and you're like pretty chill about it, and the guy's like, what the heck? Okay, I'll take a smoke break, and then you're like, ah! Get out of here!
Yeah, emotional abuse is totally fine, but smoking.
Oh my god.
It's just because it's more relatable to real life.
Yeah.
That makes it.
Yeah, it's like not outlandish. It's just like an annoying thing we have to deal with. It's boring. In his own eccentric way, Shirashi brought up a very valid point. Shirashi, you still work with the police, so how did you know about all this? If the messages are to be trusted, I'll be killed if the police know about this.
Like the implication that you could just get out of the cage at any point.
Yeah,
You're just staying in it because it was kind of hot. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like you unlock the door and the person's like, what the heck?
I'm just staying in here because I had a kink about it.
Yeah.
Now you have gotten the ick, so I'm leaving.
Yeah. I don't like you anymore. What?
捜査一課から届けられた資料だったんだけど、ご丁寧に探偵事務所様って宛名付きでね。だからここのメンバーである俺が柳君たちに伝えて君を探し当てたってわけ。警察に知らせたら女性を殺すってあるんだよ。報告なんてできないじゃない。
He smiled as he said that, so it seemed to me that he was more amused than concerned. It still doesn't feel right to me that a current police employee is involved here.
そして2通目。さっき見せた手紙は、お前を見つけて新宿園から帰ってきたら、この事務所のテーブルに置いてあった。
Huh. Hey, free food and I don't have to go out and about? Heck yeah. The first letter was a notice, so the second was deliberately planted here after they confirmed my rescue. The first letter leads me to believe someone currently in Investigations HQ was involved. This organization is set up at the police headquarters or the police in particular jurisdictions when a serious crime has been committed. In Shinjuku, it refers to the X-Day Incidents Investigations Headquarters. But to leave the second letter here in this office, did the person who put this collar on me come here before the others had returned? That seemed unrealistic. The culprit would have needed to track these three to avoid encountering them. What's suspicious is there were too many possibilities, but one suspicion within my mind grew.
There's an imposter among us.
Yeah, notice has been added to materials. Letter from Adonis has been added to materials.
で、飼い猫にされたその女の首は調べてみる。
Yeah, so now we can check materials.
It is dark materials.
Yeah. This is where we get all of our, like, clues and stuff. Watch the vents. Yeah, exactly. Huh? My head snapped to attention after I heard Sasazuka's sudden remark.
Sasazuka?
Now, hold on a second. Why are you calling me a pet cat?
なんだ、見てねえのか。その首輪には猫の絵が入ってんだ。
What? I didn't want people to see the collar, so I did my best to hide it.
それに、お前が倒れていた場所にも X デイ事件の現場にいつも置かれているコインがあった。
Oh, yeah, I've heard of Charade Maniacs. That's cool. Yeah, I definitely have heard of that one. I've thought about playing it, maybe one day.
その首輪と同じような猫のモチーフとアネモネの花があしらわれたものだ。
Adonis has adopted this as its symbol. The flower contains a chemical called ranunculin, which enzymatically breaks down into the toxin I cannot say. Yeah. In floriography, it has the meaning of fleeting dream or fading hope. Yeah. Yeah, with those ones, it's kind of hard to have more in-depth stuff because they end up focusing on other areas.
X デイ事件の主犯って言われてるテロ組織アドニスのシンボルな。お前も見たことくらいあんだろ。
The terrorist organization behind the X-Day incidents. They are an extremist group that also orchestrated the failed assassination attempt against the Prime Minister 2 years ago.
Oh, geez. That's new.
Yep. Yeah.
持ち帰って白石に調べてもらったが、これまでの事件現場に置かれていたコインと一致した。
Why is it always the childhood friend thing? Like, they always make that so weird. I always hate childhood friend routes and stuff. I'm like, anytime they're like, oh, here's your childhood friend, I'm like, I sleep. I do not see.
X デーのカウントダウンを表すローマ数字はなかったみたいだけどね。これが12月の事件になるなら1の数字が残されてるはずなんだけど。
その首輪だけだと模倣犯って線も考えられるけど、コインが一致したってことは。
Yeah.
実行犯は間違いなく X デー事件の関係者ってことだ。
Heck yeah. I mean, like, I have a childhood friend in real life, and she's great. I love her with the bottom of my heart. But a lot of times in otome games, when they have childhood friends, they make it so that they are like they think they have like a monopoly on you just because they've known you the longest. And I kind of hate that.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. It's like, oh, that's
I could
gross.
do.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I've known this person since we were kids, so that means they have to end up with me, and it's like, nobody. No, they don't.
That just means you've had your chance.
知るか。下手にもったいつけてるお前が悪いんだろ。
Coin in Roman numerals has been added to materials. I sort of felt bad for Inamoto, but I also really didn't think this was the time. Somebody related to XA put this collar around my neck. That means finding out who did this will be no easy task.
Oh,
yeah, yeah, as Sarah said, the childhood friend is secretly pinning for MC the whole time, typical nice guy mindset. And if the MC starts liking someone else, we see childhood friend in the other love interest route, they're often all sad puppy moping. Yeah, it's like, oh my god. The entire police...
My man, if something was gonna happen, it would have happened years ago.
Yeah, exactly. The entire police force was investigating XA and they'd gone nowhere. There was only so much headway I'd be able to make on my own.
で、首は調べていいんだな。
Huh? Suzuka raised his voice again, irritated. I sat there, not understanding the question.
その首輪の向こうにいるやつ。調べるのは自由にって言ってたよ
な。いや、でも、まずくね。あっちの不利益になるようなら殺すみたいなこと言ってたし。
He's clearly a lizard in a skin suit.
無理に外そうとしたら殺す。でも調べるのは自由にしろ。バカにはこの違いわかんねえだろ。
つまりどういうことよ。
調べられるもんなら調べてみろってことだ。あっちにも相当な自信があるみたいだな。
さすがにリスクが高すぎ
He
る。
does look like a lizard person.
相手の判断基準もつかめないうちから
He looks like a human
無茶はする
snake.
べきじゃない。
何もクラッキングするわけじゃねえよ。首輪が無線で電波を発してるなら種類を調べるくらいできる。
Cracking is the act of intruding into a computer network or system, destroying or modifying the system with the intent of extracting personal gain from the act. Crackers are also known as black hat hackers.
You can't say that word on Twitch, though.
What? Oh! Amazing. I didn't get it at first.
知っておいて損はないしな。
I wasn't able to keep up with the conversation at all.
柳さん、やりたくないならやらない。事件の捜査に戻るだけだ。
星野、笹塚の腕は信用できる。任せてみる気はないか。
It's not dangerous, is
犯
it?
人の目的はお前を殺すことじゃない。ルールに反さなければむやみに殺さない。それはわかるな。
Yes.
その相手が調べるのは自由にしろと言った。笹塚の言う通り、辿られない自信があるんだ。なら、大まかな構造だけでも知っておけば、今後対処しやすくはなると思う。
Yanagi was persuasive. They could kill me whenever they felt like it, so there had to be a reason they hadn't yet. That was a weakness we could exploit.
危険がゼロとは言えない。怖ければ無理にやらなくていい。
自分で決めろ。10秒待ってやる。
Are they going to force me or not? 10 seconds? What's wrong with this guy?
それ以上待たせたら俺が決める。
There was poison in the collar. I haven't been able to relax since it was put on. I don't know when I'll be killed.
This guy is such a nerd, he's turning social situations into quick time events.
Yeah. Mash that A button. If that's the case, please do it, Sazasuka. Please don't provoke them. I had no idea how he would examine it. I didn't know anything about his skills, but I thought it was the right call because Yanaki said we'd be collaborating from now on.
遅えな。とっくに10秒過ぎてる。お前が待ってやるとか珍しい。
さすがに人命かかってるからね。
Ah, yes, the type of he's showing affection by being
Yeah.
slightly less of an asshole than usual.
Yep. Yep.
ささすか。
了解。
While Sazasuka was fiddling with his computer, I couldn't move a millimeter. Would the final sting of pain come? Would the collar miraculously fall free? With a grunt, Sazasuka stopped typing, and the clacking of the keyboard ceased.
どうだ。
大体わかった。
乾杯ってことか。笹塚くんでも太刀打ちできないんじゃ相当レベルが高いってことだね。
マジかよ。おいタケル、全く成果なしなのか。
うるせえな。大体わかったって言っただろ。
So, which is it?
笹塚くんが曖昧な言い方をするのは悔しい。
I love that they're now bullying him.
レベルが高い。壊す覚悟なら侵入くらいできるが、それやったらそいつが死ぬ。
ま、簡単には突破できないセキュリティだって分かっただけでも十分成果なんじゃない？
そうだな。
もう一つ、監視カメラはついてない。
おお、十分な成果じゃん。さすがは天才ハッカーのタケルくん。
お前
Now
の
we
パ
can
ソコンの
communicate
中
better
に
writing
流
stuff.
出させるぞ。
やめてください。それだけは絶対にやめてください。
Not my search history.
I don't get all of it, but the collar didn't react to whatever
Not
he
my
tried.
stash.
I wouldn't die from anything that he did. I could take some relief from that at least. Still, even a programmer as skilled as Sazasuka was unable to glean any valuable information, so it won't come off easily.
そう悲観するな。その首輪が X デー事件に関係しているなら、今後手がかりも出てくるはずだ。
I nodded in response to Yanagi's concern.
おい、携帯貸せ。
I didn't notice Sazasuka had gone so close, and I jumped at hearing his voice so near. Huh? My phone?
お前以外に誰がいるんだよ。早く貸せ。
Why?
貸してあげた方がいいよ。笹塚くん、そろそろ切れそうだから。
In confusion, I looked pleadingly to Yanagi, and he just nodded in
お
resignation.
前は新宿園で眠らされていただろう。その間に犯人が何か仕掛けた可能性はある。
I quickly took out my phone. Sazasuka immediately snatched it away. He's like, "Nyah."
Mine.
Mine. Hey?
一から根節丁寧に説明しないと何もわかんねえのかよ。めんどくせえ。
With that, he took my phone and went back to his desk. I may be a little on the slow side, but none of these people tell me anything. Especially Sazasuka, but the others obviously knew what he wanted, so I probably just wasn't following him. I stifled my protest and sat quietly, watching Sazasuka go to work.
穴だらけのセキュリティだな。
With that brief comment, Sasasuka tossed my phone back to me. I looked at the screen and saw that a sketchy-looking app had been installed on my phone. I don't know what he did, but he blocked the phone tap they were using for interception, I think.
眠らされてる間にいじられてなくても遠隔でデータ抜くなんて簡単にできる。もっと自覚しろ。
He was correct, but he was being such an ass that I couldn't just accept what he said.
やり方は乱暴だが腕は確かだ。今多めに見てやってくれ。
Yagi's words did nothing to reassure me. I only felt more uneasy around this group.
じゃあ俺はこれまで通り8月の捜査を続ける。事件の捜査は犯人からの要求でもあるしな。
Is everyone here investigating the X-Day incidents? But how?
うるせえな。ちょっとは自分で考えろ、バカ猫。
What the hell was that for?
そうやってムキになる姿は毛を逆立てた猫みたいだけどね。
ついに猫呼ばわりかよ。
They're not listening to me at all. To investigate the case on their own, they all must have considerable skills, but I didn't feel any concern for me or any sense of cooperation from them. Maybe it's because they suspect me, but I really just want to know what's happening. When I shot a pleading look to Yanagi, he sighed.
それぞれ調べている事件は違うが、個々に X デイ事件を調べてはいた。俺は事件全体を捜査している。榎本は4月と5月、笹塚はさっき言った8月、そして白石は9月と10月だ。
September and October? I thought the September suspect died and nothing actually happened in October, did it?
カウントダウンと言っておきながら10月だけ何も起こさないなんてありえる？俺はどうもそこが気になるんだよね。
There were suspicions about that very thing, even at the station. A countdown video was issued for October, but no relevant incidents have been reported. But you have to work on the cases that you've been assigned by the police department, don't you?
仕事はきちんとこなしてるよ。与えられた仕事はね。ここだと誰に縛られるわけでもないし、俺なりに操作できるからね。
Are you really allowed to do that as a police employee?
だから言ったでしょ。ここでの俺は警察職員じゃなくて柳くんたちの大事なメンバーなんだよ。
大事な。
My precious.
I don't understand what's happening here. I had many more questions, but it felt like I wouldn't get anything from Shirashi. He would definitely just give me some kind of flippant response or spout sophisms. Anyway, I must solve the problem I've been given. To sum up everything I'd learned so far, the culprits who attacked me were undoubtedly related to X-Day. Those criminals were aware that Yanagi's group of ex-officers was investigating X-Day. On top of that, they were pushed into a course of action that possibly led me to join them. The criminals claimed that this group that was investigating the case had the same ideals as the criminals, but still, that doesn't explain Shirashi, who's still employed by the police. He said that he discovered the first letter and took it to Yanagi. I couldn't imagine that he just did that of his own volition. It would have been easy for Shirashi to plant the letter in this office. Shirashi burst into laughter when he saw me looking at him with narrowed eyes.
君ってわかりやすいよね。俺が犯人なんじゃないかって疑ってるでしょ。
Guilty as charged. Well, that's what I get for trying to hide it. Might as well. I was a little scared, but I screwed up my courage and just said what I was thinking. Shirashi, you're obviously taking an awful lot of pleasure in my reactions. Why wouldn't I be suspicious of you?
そうだね。俺が犯人なら、このポケットに隠してるスイッチを押して、今すぐ君を毒殺できちゃうかもしれない。
I saw Shirashi's eyes narrow and I instinctively flinched.
白石、星野で遊ぶのはよせ。こいつはお前のおもちゃじゃない。
そう言われても彼女刺激すると面白いんだよね。
He's just screwing with me. I was done letting this jerk rile me up. I shot a hostile glance towards Yanagi, who spoke very deliberately.
今俺たちが話せる情報はこれくらいだ。捜査は続けるし、今回のことも調べる。お前はどうする？
Everyone turned to look at me. In order to remove the collar, the best course seems to be discovering the truth behind X Day. And we can't even tell the police. What can I possibly contribute to the investigation of this difficult case? Adding to my burden of self-doubt, the men gathered before me had all been researching the X Day cases from the start. It was like a well-organized production.
犯人がお前に接触してくる可能性もないとは言い切れない。なるべくなら行動を共にした方が。
Yanagi's sentence was immediately interrupted by the window abruptly opening. We're about to meet our final love interest.
Hey.
あ、お客さん、珍しい。
What the? This is the 5th floor! How did he get in here? Who is that?
またかよ。
不法侵入で訴えるぞ。
In my surprise, I hastily hid my collar, but this seemed to be a familiar occurrence to the others, and they didn't react much. Huh?
驚かせてごめんね。
Hi, Owen. Welcome to the stream. We'll probably end in a few minutes, but hello. How's it going? I love you very much. I guess when I saw what the man who had climbed into the room was wearing. He's wearing police and SP badges.
No pants.
Is this man part of your team? In response to my question, everyone else in the room made complicated expressions.
He was wearing socks and
お客さん
sandals.
なら出
Yeah.
直そうか。
Yeah, he's my other fave as well, Sarah.
そうしてくれるとありがたい。あと、いつも言っているが、来るなら扉から入ってきてくれ。
だって閉まってるし、いつも入れてくれないから。
とにかく、今日は帰れ。
はーい。
He smiled and used the door to exit the premises instead of the window.
毎度のことだけど、油断も隙もねえな。
Amazing.
Oh god.
寝室鬼没すぎるだろ。本当に出て行ったんだろうな。
Well, Sasuke left the room to check. Yanagi spoke.
あの男は X デイ事件を捜査中の俺たちを守るという任務についている。警視庁警備部警護課の岡崎圭だ。
Huh, covering you? The police are giving you protection while you freelance?
岡崎くんはそう言っていたけど、本当のところはどうなんだろうね。
どういう理由で SP を俺たちにつけているのか、警察の意図は分かっていない。
I see. HQ Security Police Division, or SP for short. Normally their job was to protect VIPs and endangered individuals. Common abbreviation for security police. They're specialized cops whose main job is to protect the representatives of each political party, visiting dignitaries, and perform security details. Do the police have a reason to protect them?
そういった事情があるからな。岡崎圭には今回の件を気づかれるわけにはいかない。首輪のことがバレたら確実に面倒だ。犯人が警察にバラすなと言うからには説明するわけにもいかないしな。
Okay. He didn't seem that sharp to me, but you can't judge a book by its cover. Entering by the window was pretty suspicious. One can never be too cautious.
それで、さっきの質問の答えは？
Oh, I want to get this collar off immediately. We need to investigate X-Day to do that. Since I couldn't report this to the police, it was obviously better to have assistance. Still, can I really trust this lot? Was it really the right call to collude with them despite being a police officer? Honestly, I was hesitant. Could I have a little bit of time to think about it?
わかった。 すぐに結論を出せと言われても、状況が状況なだけに難しいだろう。
Windows are suspicious. That's why I enter buildings through the kitchen sink.
知り合ったばかりの俺たちと協力する気になれないかもしれないが。
And through the chimney like Santa Claus.
Heck yeah.
お前を死なせたくない。元ではあるが、警察時代から掲げてきた信念だけがケースにあるからな。
There was a strong fire in Yanagi's eyes, and it drew me in. Maybe I had a good impression of him since he was the first to help when I had been poisoned. I want to trust him after all. Thank you. A lot has happened, so I'm really confused. But I'll collect myself and think about it.
つーかひとまずさ、連絡は取れるようにした方がいいよな。
Hey Pon, welcome to the stream. How's it going? I love ya. We're about to finish, sadly. Alright. In case I need to contact anybody, I exchanged phone numbers with everyone. Well then, I'll be back at night. Okay. So I think this is a good place to stop.
Alright.
What are your thoughts so far?
It's certainly a thing.
Heck yeah. Yeah.
No,
so,
it seems intriguing.
Yeah. But yeah, it's definitely a very interesting game. And it's only gonna get more intriguing as time goes on. Definitely one of my faves. Yeah. I'm excited to play more next time, and I would play more even now, but gotta head to work.
Yeah, I gotta go sleep.
Yeah. Thanks for hanging out as always, Rolf. You're the best.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. And yeah, I'm excited to play more of this next time, and I hope you get some good sleeps.
Alright. See you next time.
Yeah, see you later.
Goodbye.
Oh boy. Let's see who we shall raid. Yeah, thank you, Sarah. Let's raid, Oh, Q-Flux is live. I haven't... Or Ink for Justice. I think I'll raid Ink for Justice since they're playing Persona 5 Royal. And I love that game, obviously. So, let's read. Oh boy. Amazing. Incredible. But yeah, thank you guys all so much for hanging out. Y'all are the bestest beans. Thanks for joining the stream, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.